Right. Well, KMEGA, I gotta make sure that you're good to go because you know, hard times for brothers after taking L's on your own
Bro,
podcast
we was
with,
going by
with
one.
the quiz. With the
Ah,
quiz, what happened?
I came back. I
What
came back
happened?
and put the pressure on your ass, and you had to look it up. I know you looked that answer up.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Game Drain. I just had to come in extra salty just to liven it up just a little bit because we were all just kind of getting down to business just a moment ago and making sure everything was looking good before we got started. But yeah, welcome everybody out. We have our guest of the show this evening, Mr. KMEGA405. Go on ahead, say what's up, what you've been playing, and also what you like to play on.
Oh man, appreciate the invite, man. This is already from me just being introducing myself to the panel and getting to know some of the guys already. It seems like it's going to be a really good time. Um, Glad to be here. And yeah, man, I was just when you hit me up, I was playing Miles Morales, and it's starting to grow on me. The Spider-Man game, it's starting to grow on me. So I'm feeling it. But I'm an Xbox dude, but I play on everything. So doesn't matter Switch.
But
Uh,
that greatness
like,
is growing on you.
oh no, man! I've been owning a PlayStation from the day one when PlayStation One came out. Yeah, nah, bro. I'm still
You
an
were right
Xbox.
at the beginning when you said no. You shouldn't have said anything else.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
should
go ahead.
have. I play on everything. I got love for all gaming, but yeah, no. My heart and everything gaming wise is with the Xbox, man. So yeah, but no, I mean,
You wait till you get GT7 and then you just gonna sell your Xbox.
Ah,
You're
okay,
gonna need
all right.
money for all the microtransactions.
Yeah, that'll be the game that That's true.
Oh
But I'm glad to be here,
Lord.
man.
God.
Thanks for hitting me up, man.
Yeah,
Seems like
absolutely, absolutely. It's really good to have you here. You're a fun person to do podcasts with and whatnot, and that's why I'm on your show because I enjoy talking to you. But
appreciate it.
anyways, let's move on to the rest of the panel. I guess I'll just go down the lines. I just wanted to make sure to tackle the guests first because first and foremost. But Matt likes games. What you got? What you been playing? What's going on?
Sniper Elite 5 with you. GTA 4 and replaying GTA 4. And after that, probably Red Dead. So that's what I've been playing. And I'm working on a video, which will be out this week over on my channel, Matt Likes Games on YouTube. So look for that. Probably Tuesday. That'll be out.
Okay, cool. Um, are you able to say what the video is about?
Oh, Series S 1 year review.
Okay, that's what's
There
up.
we go,
Yeah.
sneak peek.
All right, so yeah. I know those Series S videos that you had previously were pretty nice. So pretty
Oh,
excited
yeah.
to see what you have in store in the future. But how about you, Twan? What's been going on with your brother? You weren't here last week, so just kind of give us a
Yeah, sorry
rundown of
about
what you've
that.
been up to.
Yeah, I've been feeling a bit Game Boy Advance lately. Got my Game Boy player on the GameCube. I've actually been replaying the Klonoa games. There's Klonoa 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Advance. They're very
Wait,
puzzly
Klonoa.
platformers.
That
Klonoa, it's like the
sounds
guy
very
with,
familiar.
he's got like the big ears. He's like a cat bunny thing.
Yeah,
I'm like
Klonoa.
he's
Yeah,
got
dude.
like the
Holy
little ring
shit.
thing.
I haven't
Fantastic
thought of
game.
that in forever, dude. I haven't
Yeah.
played that since I was like 7.
But
Holy
they're
shit. Sorry, go
they're
on.
actually remaking the games on the Switch and
Really?
on the Xbox and everything. And it's coming out this July 1 and 2. They're remaking them. So, I mean, look forward to that. Those are
That was on the
fantastic
PS1,
platformers.
wasn't it?
Well,
Didn't they
yeah,
have
the
a
first one was
PS1?
the
Yeah.
first one was on the
Okay.
PS1, and then the
That's what
Klonoa
I
2 was
played.
on the PS2, and then they released those two
Okay.
GBA games where I'm playing right now. And they're very puzzle oriented, those games, and they're very fun
Yeah.
as well.
Sorry for cutting you
And
off. Go on.
oh no, not at all. I'm glad someone else knows about Klonoa. They're
Yes,
fantastic
sir.
games. And I don't know if this is like on the line if it even counts. But yesterday I watched the Sonic movie, Sonic 2. I mean, it's like I know it's not a video game, but it's kind of a video game. It's a video game movie,
True, true.
and it's actually I've really enjoyed it. It's a lot better than the first one. I don't know if any of you guys watched that movie, but yeah, it was pretty funny. Like you could tell they're a lot more confident with this one than they were with the first one. But I have another game I've been playing, but I think I'm gonna save that for the underrated games. And I think that's it.
Ooh,
I'm gonna save it.
Okay.
is it Halo Infinite? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, well, on the bottom of the list tonight, we got
Last but
Hard Days
certainly
Mike.
not least.
What's going on,
Hello.
brother? What's going on down there? What you
I've
been playing?
I've been playing a decent amount of Fallout 4 and having a very good time. I'm enjoying it much more than I did when it originally came out.
Yeah.
I still think I'm a bigger fan of Fallout 3. I just kind of preferred that, but Fallout 4 has a lot going for it that's very fun when it comes to customization, when it comes to the power armor, the weapon, the base building, stuff like that. So I still think it has something to give. I think a lot of people say it doesn't, but I think there's a lot to really give. Um, I've also been playing a lot of Sniper Elite 5, and I'll save my opinions for that for later, but I'll just say I really, really like it. But and other than that, I think I'm gonna start Assassin's Creed Odyssey in a day or two because Matt was talking about it. My cousin was saying how great it is. He's like, Mike, if you like the gameplay of Valhalla, but you just want a better, well-paced story, go play Odyssey. I'm like,
Better
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, better gameplay.
Well,
recommend
we
all
have an
three of those
Assassin's
games.
Creed. We have an Assassin's Creed lover in the podcast
really?
tonight with KMEGA. KMEGA
That's
seems to
fantastic.
think that
I know.
Valhalla
Right.
is something to play.
Oh man, Valhalla is. Yeah, man, Valhalla is great. Like in the beginning, it's slow. It's very slow. It's one of
That's
those
where I'm
games
at
that
still. It is slow as
Yeah.
hell.
it is slow. It
Put
really
60
doesn't.
hours into it.
I put
Uh,
300 altogether, 370
What the fuck?
some hours.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
friend that put like 300 hours into it as well. Apparently, just a lot to
yeah,
do in that open world.
yeah. And,
Some
well,
people really do
all
love
the
it.
DLC,
Some
yeah,
people
the
really
DLCs
do.
and all that. Yeah, and so like, it's really slow when you get into it, and I was like, oh man, this isn't hitting like Odyssey because Odyssey and Origins are definitely my favorite Assassin's Creeds, for sure. And Odyssey is just special. Like, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it kind of shows you exactly the greatness of what Ubisoft can do when they seem to have the time and they put in the true effort into it. Like you'll definitely be amazed. I do feel that Odyssey is better than Valhalla, but man, Valhalla's combat, and then when you get deeper into the storyline, and two of those DLCs are very.
I hear the
top-notch.
DLCs are fantastic. I
They're
hear they're
fantastic. They're fantastic. Yeah,
Just
so
to
it's really good.
just to say super quick, is I actually really enjoy Valhalla. I just wish a lot of the stuff you were forced to play were optional side quests, and I feel like it would make the game
Oh yeah.
so much better because there's a lot of stuff you have to do before you finally get to like the main quest stuff, and it's like because the main story is really cool. It's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm,
So I just feel like there's a lot of like actually wait a minute, I did end up beating that game. Yeah, I actually did. But yeah, so I think it's definitely a really good game, but I kind of would like Ubisoft to more so embrace the fact that it wants to kind of be like a light RPG and do plenty of side quests. Because I think they could really give it like stop doing an Assassin's Creed every other year, and they could absolutely pull off something really like Odyssey. Like apparently that one's very special.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
No,
what I've been
I
playing.
totally agree. I totally agree. Totally agree.
So that's what I've been playing. Also, wait, let's say super quick, a bit of Assassin's Creed Rogue remastered because it got FPS boosted, so it runs at
I need to
4K
play
60, and
that
that
tonight.
game slaps. That game's a banger. That game's fun. If you like Black Flag and you just want more of that, go play that. But yeah, that's it.
Nice. Oh, you ham.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
what about you,
yeah,
Ham?
as for me, what I've been playing a lot of greatness lately, like a crazy amount. I know it sounds really freaking yummy, right? Gran Turismo 7, been playing the heck out of that. I'm in like, I think I'm in like chapter like 20 or something like that of like the story thing that it has of all the cars and stuff.
Is that menu fucking 20 or?
Yeah, like menu book
Yeah.
20. Yeah,
Yeah.
like thank you. It's, you know,
That's called like menu book. That's the way they kind of categorize it.
let's keep it a
Yeah.
buck for a quick second. The whole cafe thing is dumb as hell to me. I'm gonna be honest. Like to me that whole cafe and talking to that dude over and over is just, to me it's a little unnecessary. But
It's not voiced, right?
yeah, and
It's just
it's
text.
not
It's just
it's
nothing's
just,
voiced in that
yeah,
game.
nothing's voiced in that game, which makes it extra uninteresting. It's just a bunch of like
$70
cars
banger.
rolling around and with music in the background. But understanding what I'm doing more is nice, and being able to start to really pull out some of the good cars and put them out to the test, then it starts to get pretty fun in that game. I'm still waiting. Like I wanted to give that game a solid try because I wanted to, I mean, I like to crack jokes and everything, yeah, but at the end of the day, I want to know if this is good or if, Forza Motorsports is better. Like I want to be able to give an honest comparison with the two, and I can already tell that PlayStation's gonna win probably with the controller functionality part. Like I already feel like that's probably gonna be a W because it's that the haptic feedback in GT7 is by far the best iteration of it so far to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that everything kind of moves, the way I can feel when I'm driving in the rain compared to when I'm driving in like a hot warm track climate or something like that.
Even the triggers are pretty nice too.
The triggers
when my
really
trigger's
nice.
not broken, when I use my good controller.
Right. So I mean, like, just trying to be honest with that game for a second. I like it a little bit so far. It's not. I don't feel like as connected to it as I did when Forza Horizon 5 came out. But then again, I want to say I felt really connected to that game because I could be really ridiculous, and I like to be ridiculous in video games. GT7 doesn't allow you to be ridiculous in the game, so
It wants to be real.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't. I feel like comparing it to that isn't exactly fair because it's like
It's going for a different thing.
Yeah, to me, it's like comparing like Midnight Club to GT7. Like it's just it just doesn't.
Not comparison.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yes. I'll let you continue.
But yeah, I played that game. Been playing some Sniper Elite with Matt Lex Games, like he mentioned just a little bit ago. Still playing NBA 2K22 with Matt and Bill whenever we get a chance. Somehow we lost to the Bulls last night with the all team 90s. Somehow we lost. Yeah. I don't know. Something about, man, it's so hard to freaking rebound in that game. I swear.
Which is hilarious considering the last game we played against the same Bulls team and we beat them by like 80 points.
Yeah, and it did not. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just the play styles, like they're a lot different. Like when you use the 90s team versus like the 2010 team or something like that. Like everybody hits threes on the 2010 team and stuff like that. But on like the 90s one, it's more like interior scoring and more, just tough.
It was those John Stockton shorts that did it. That was the problem.
Yeah, those shorts were hiked up a little too high. I don't think you could get a good shot off. I also beat Uncharted 2, which was a fantastic game.
Oh, it's first time playing?
Yeah, this is my first time going through the series. Right now I'm at 3.
That's interesting.
I literally just got done with like the bar scene where you're doing that like fight at the very beginning, you're like grabbing cups and like smashing it against people's heads, and
always
and
like
then
a nice bar fight.
Yeah, like Nate and the other bro, I forgot his name.
Saturday night for Bill,
but they got shot.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nate and Sully got shot in the alley. That's where I'm at.
Oh
like,
yeah,
right at the beginning of that. game. But
Just can I say something super quick about that scene?
sure.
Uh, did you know if you can find a newspaper that they accidentally put something from The Last of Us in it in Uncharted 3?
Oh no, I didn't
Oh,
know.
an Easter
Was
egg?
that was an? I'm assuming that's unintentional.
It was unintentional. They didn't mean to do it. There's a newspaper talking about a fungus spreading and it's taking over people
Oh,
or something
really?
like that. And like, yeah, we
Must
didn't
take
mean to
place in
do
the same
that.
universe.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I'm,
thought that was always really cool.
I'm kind of
They never like
interested in where
patched it
that
out or
is, so I
anything.
can look it up and find it. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, dude. I think it's on the bar table or something. I can't. It's been so long since I played Uncharted 3. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Unless they're connected, who knows? Maybe it's like an inside, I don't know, universe
Well,
thing.
it is the same. It is the same developer, so
Yeah, Naughty
No, it's
Dog,
not.
right?
Just kidding.
So.
Yeah, this.
yeah, it is, Mike.
Xbox
Other-
made that. Sorry, go on, Ham.
Other than that, yesterday, and Matt heard me doing it in all sorts of different rage. I've been playing Flight
Oh.
Sim. I did the Stratosphere flight for the Top Gun thing. Man, that was pretty damn. That might have been the coolest thing I did in Flight Sim.
But they had like a Top Gun collab or something.
Yeah, they do, but they also have like this plane or this jet that can fly up to the stratosphere. You can go like I went 275,000 feet in the air, which if you've played Flight Sim, like most of those most of those planes, like the jet, like the original jet that you get in that game, the Hornet, can only like it's supposed to peak at 50,000 feet. So to go 275 and be out of the stratosphere, and my entire jet is like red from going so damn fast.
Holy shit!
Yeah, like it got wild. I went from the stratosphere, from that 275, I dipped all the way down and just went damn near straight to the ground. Hit about I hit near 1,700 knots. Like just like past freaking Mach 9 coming
Does it
down.
even do like does it even do like the sonic boom thing where it's like
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
does that as well?
Yeah, it does do that as you're like breaking sound, and then when you're coming back,
Yeah.
you're actually decelerating because you're coming down so fast, and then like you start to re-accelerate again.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, gravity, I guess, whatever. But like I don't know all those
Gravity's a
scientific
thing.
terms or
Yeah.
anything. But
Quantum physics.
but I could not pull up like going that fast and going down. I couldn't pull up and like start to level out and go back, towards the sky
Mhm.
until I got to like I want to say like 1,500 feet from the ground.
Man.
I was going so freaking fast. I almost wrecked
Almost
right into
obliterated
some corn.
yourself.
Oh yeah. If you seen the video from it, you could see my like jets all shaking and everything. Like it looked crazy. It looked
Man,
like
I'd love to do that.
looked like Vegeta coming to Earth.
That's wild.
I would like to do that, but in VR though, have like a VR setup and everything.
Ooh, that would
That
be
would be
tough. I could do
sick.
that. I can do that. I should totally do that. That sounds dope. That sounds
Probably
so
yak
dope.
after though.
Oh, I might. I about yak just doing a barrel roll in one of those just smaller planes. So so I can only imagine going Mach
See your screen,
9.
right?
But anyways, let's go on ahead and move on, gentlemen. That was a great intro. So this week we played a game, didn't we all?
We did.
Yes.
We did indeed.
I want to go last, by the way. I want to go last
Why does it
Okay.
make you
got a lot
want
to
to go
say.
last?
because I got a lot to say, and I want to let you guys get your feelings out, a lot of your guys' opinions out of the way, so you don't have to worry about me ranting for 3 hours at first. So I'd like to go last.
Okay, well,
He's got a lot to
the
say.
game that we all played, and K Mega, feel free to chime in at any point. The game that we all played was Sniper Elite 5. That was the game of the week this week.
Mhm.
Did you get a chance?
Yeah, I played probably about a good hour and 10 minutes of it.
Okay,
Okay.
give us your experience on it. Go on ahead, you go first since you're the guest.
Okay. And I'll probably most likely be most brief because it sounds like you guys put in a lot more time in it than I did. Um, no, I mean I enjoyed the last one. I enjoyed four. I played three, like that one, but four was the one that I thought like, okay, this franchise is really going place. And so then I was really stoked about this one, and then hearing that it was coming on Game Pass, I was just like, oh, this is even a plus. Just let's go.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it, looked at it, was already feeling the vibe of it and everything, and then just right that X-ray mode, just right off when you come off the submarine and you're shooting the lights, and then you see the X-ray mode, and I'm like, and the glass is cutting them, and I'm like, oh, this is I can't wait. So you get in there and start taking people out and things like that, man. I mean, the controls feel more defined. Graphically, it looks better. Um, it's to me what I think people don't appreciate, even though it's not considered a AAA banger or elite title. It is one of those games that you can just sit down and play and just enjoy because it has a little bit of something that I think that's for everybody. Of course, it's a shooter, but then you can also be stealthy. You got some hand-to-hand combat a little bit in the sense of when you're doing the stealth moves and stuff like that. But then it also has a good story behind it. So far for what I've played. So no, I think that I think everybody should give it an opportunity, and especially since if you own an Xbox or a PC, you have that option of playing it through Game Pass and experience it yourself. And this is no doubt it's going to have DLC, so it's going to make me buy the game later on. So that I hope a lot more people get invested into this franchise because they have been there for a while and they always get better. I have not seen a decline from three to now five. Now I haven't played one and two, but to me it just seems like it's the toast of all of these type of games that have been coming out. And it seems like Sniper Elite is the best one out of all the ones that they have out that I played. So I think everybody out there should give it definitely an opportunity. In my opinion.
Agree with that.
All right, that was a pretty nice take. You had some
Very nice.
pretty kind words to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop over to Twan and have you
All
go
right.
ahead and tell us what you thought of the game.
All right, so yeah, me and Mike were actually talking about this earlier, where it actually kind of reminds me back at the era, like especially like in the PS2 era and the just early on the 360 era, is when they released these lower profile but still
Yeah.
good games. They made like a $40 game, $30 game. It's back then when not every game needed to be a AAA game, but it was still a great game, right? I kind of went in there, I lowered my expectations a bit, right? Like you said before, it's like a double A game, not really a AAA game, right? So,
Like in
like even
between, it's weird.
yeah,
It's
right.
weird.
It's like a mid-range game, right? And I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate those games anymore, right? They just want the
Yeah.
that shiny new AAA game. And
Yeah, that's how I feel.
yeah, and so far, even just from when I played, like its controls really nice. Like the whole X-ray vision, the Mortal Kombat style. When you snipe them, you see like the ribs and everything. It looks really
Yes, sir.
nice.
Yeah.
But
Sir.
if there's one complaint I have with it is like I don't as of right now like I don't really know. I'm still early in the game, right? I'm not feeling the story too much. It just feels like a very World War plot. It's like we're at war and we got to kill the bad guys kind of thing. But like I said, for all I know, it could get insane at the end. It could be all like Wolfenstein: The New Order for all I know, right? Crazy, but but yeah, yeah, like very solid game. Like I said, even the graphics, like they're like I put it like early PS4, but like slightly enhanced. Like they're kind of like it's a very souped up PS4 kind of game, right? Like I said, it's you're not. I'm not expecting a AAA game. It's not even a full price game. It was like a $50 game, I think, around there.
Yeah.
Like not even. I think it
Think
might even
so,
be
yeah.
below $50 because it's like 56 Canadian from what I've seen, and that's probably even less than $50 US. So like I said, I went in there, I lowered my expectations a bit, and I enjoyed it. So
Right on.
yeah, man, it's a good
Nice.
game so far.
All right. Well, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
Matt, I'm gonna hop right in on this real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. So, Sniper Elite 5 so far for me. My expectations weren't crazy high because I played the previous ones, and I knew this wasn't gonna be like anything like a Halo or
Yeah.
like in the realm of that. but what I've always kind of had for Sniper Elite in the past was respect because they make a fairly easy game to kind of get into, and and if you like kind of just creeping around and doing stuff, you can do it for a long time in that game. You can kind of just fall out and do whatever you want for a little while. If you want to sneak around, you can sneak around. If you want to get loud, you can
Actually,
get loud.
Mhm.
can I add on to that super quick just to say like how
Sure,
true that
Mike.
is?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like if you sneak around, sometimes if you don't want to be alerted forever at all for a level, sometimes the level might be an hour and 30 minutes long because of that. Like, you know what I mean? It could be a really long ass level if you don't ever want to be discovered. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Oh
wanted to
Absolutely.
yeah,
say that
yeah.
because yeah,
Absolutely.
go on.
Well, me and Matt have played it, and one of the cool things that I've really got into this time around with Sniper Elite, is that the music when you're running around is really nice. I thought
You
it
would
was a
listen to
really
the music
nice
too much.
touch. I thought it was a really nice touch to the game. Just it kind of it's not really in your face. It's just kind of like that eeriness of
Mhm.
kind of being in that setting. And I don't know, just I like little things about that in games. Music is kind of a big deal for me in games. Kind of helps you
Definitely.
get a little bit more immersed into it, and kind of
100%. Yeah.
I probably watched that thing from Starfield about the music like 3 or 4 times just because I was just like, man, this is freaking like this is exciting. That's a big, exciting, and interesting piece of a game for me. So I was like extremely like happy to hear some good music in a game that I'm not like giving high rating to from the jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but
Totally get that.
but there's also a few things that kind of bother me with that game. So like some of like the buttons are kind of weird. Like switching shoulders is
Oh yeah,
like I don't understand why you hit the Y button to
yeah,
switch
Mm,
shoulders. And it's such a little minor thing that it's not going to
it's
like
stupid though.
stop me from playing it, or like I'm not going to hit Twitter to be pissed about it because it's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of like weird. Of all the buttons that you pick that. um and then Sniper Elite still hasn't got me on a single player level exactly yet. It hasn't interested me enough to do that because I'm a multiplayer kind of guy. I like to play games co-op if I can. If it gives me the option, I'm going co-op. And then if I
Mhm.
really enjoy it, I might come back and play it single player later. Um, there's very few games that offer co-op from the jump that I want to hop in single player and play. And this game. It wasn't any different. And whenever I see that, it's kind of like a little bit of a damn because
Mhm.
that just tells me that it could be better.
Mhm.
Well, it
yeah.
does have the multiplayer aspect of it where you can hunt somebody down in their game.
I've never been into that though either though.
Well, yeah,
That's
no,
an
I
Elden
get
Ring
it.
as well, and I'm not trying
Yeah,
to hop in other people's games. I can give a damn about that.
I
and,
know
and, uh,
Doom
Turn that
wanted
off.
something like that as well.
Yeah, they
and then
canceled it. They said fuck
Yeah,
it.
they're like, screw it. Horde mode, that's it.
Yeah. Yep.
right, and then I think also that now that part I don't know yet is that you can play together in co-op, but I do know that there's the we could go hunt somebody because I did try that, and it's kind of funny because I didn't know where this person was. I just got past the level where it's opened up, and so then I was like, okay, all right, let me try it. And I didn't. I went to person, but the person knew where I was located. I didn't know where the hell I was, and I got caught. But I think that to me, it's a fun little, just something to go into it. Now, like I said, I don't know about the co-op aspect of two people can go in and play.
Yeah, have you
like
not
that.
played
I don't
co-op
know.
in that game yet?
No, I have not
Oh,
done
it's
that.
fantastic.
Ooh.
Okay,
To,
so
to, to, to
so
to
yeah,
me, I think that's the way to play it, because to be able to
right.
to be able to have a flank all the time with you is super dope. Like towards the end of the last level me and Matt played together on, he was inside the building while I was killing
Oh
people
yeah.
around the outside of the building.
Pretty
He
sick.
got ambushed on the way out of the building, and I fought my way to him and was killing people on the way. So like those people that were shooting at him, he started to notice there was a lot less people shooting at him just a couple minutes ago. And I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm
Yeah.
just right around the corner." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, just come on out, bro. It's all good."
Well, that's dope. That's dope.
It's super fun. And that slow-mo kill that Twan was talking about just a little bit ago,
Mhm.
how it shows the guts or whatnot.
Mhm.
When the co-op player um, ignites it, it stops your gameplay too, so you can see
Yeah.
what he
Okay,
did.
okay, yeah,
And
that's
I
true.
thought
Yeah.
that was
I
fire
definitely need to
because
do that.
be,
Oh,
be,
I
be,
need
be-
to do that.
because I shot a bullet, it stopped Matt's game. Matt seen exactly what I did, and then not even 5 seconds later, Matt did the same thing. Boom, stops my screen,
Yeah.
and I was like, bro, I gotta clip that. I gotta clip that because
Yeah, dude.
it tells you the name of the other player in the bottom left corner of the screen, so it says you are spectating this person's like kill,
Yeah.
and I thought that was fire. I ain't
It
gonna
is.
lie.
That is fire.
How
That
many
is fire.
players
It is.
co-op is this? Is this just two-player
It's
co-op?
just I think
Think
it's just
so.
two.
Just two.
Wait, it might be 4 because
That'd be
I don't
interesting
know.
if it was
I
4.
don't know about that. I thought I saw 2 extra slots though when we booted up the game.
Hey, bro,
That'd be
if
pretty
that's the
sick.
case, we need to get
I'm down.
we
I'd
need to
be
get
down.
K Megan or Mike or Twan or somebody just whoever's free, hop on
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
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 I'm definitely
definitely, dude.
down
I
for
would
that.
be down to do that.
But Matt, what's your take on all this?
Honestly, this is probably my favorite. I mean, definitely of the year, my favorite co-op game. This is as fun as I thought Left 4 Dead was gonna be. Like, and I thought not Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood.
Back
I
for
thought
Blood.
Back 4
Yeah.
Blood was gonna be super fun. This is as fun as I thought Back 4 Blood was gonna be, which is really good.
What you thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what it turned out to be
Yeah.
is whatever. But
Yeah.
but the gameplay is super fun. The kills, like you said, the slow motion cameras, like
Mortal Kombat
hitting them in
style.
the head
Yeah.
with it's insane. It's awesome. Uh, the levels I've never played a Sniper Elite game, so I don't know how that works. Really, how big this is in comparison to any of the other ones.
Mhm.
But it's a much bigger game than I thought it was going to be in terms of like levels. There's like a lot to do in every level, which is nice because I was not expecting that. I was expecting, very linear.
Matt thought the mission was over like twice, and I was like, bro, it will
Oh
be
yeah,
the mission will show like the credits or something. It'll tell us when it's over. He's like, all right, man, I'm about to get up. I was like, it ain't over yet. Get back. You better pick that controller back up. I know it's 3 a.m., but bro, we gotta finish this mission.
yeah. I thought that it was over. Yeah, like you said, like multiple times, I thought the level was over.
How long are
But
these levels? Like
I mean, the way me and
the
him
later
played it,
ones.
it was like about an hour a level. The way me and him played it.
We like killed everybody though each time.
Oh yeah, we cleaned out everything pretty much. And like it wasn't even stealthy really. I mean, some of it was, but like it
I'd
was
say a
mostly
third.
just yeah, most of it was just fucking insane blood, just really violent, no stealth whatsoever, making a lot of noise. Like it was super fun. It was like playing Call of Duty co-op back in the day, but felt it felt modern. It felt very fun.
Yeah.
Can
Another
I
thing,
can I stop you for a second and read this?
Yeah.
Okay, in Sniper Elite 5, you can play with your friends in two different modes, such as drop-in co-op campaign, which allows you to complete the story with one other partner. The other mode is survival mode, and as the name implies, you and four other elite snipers will
Yeah.
have to pit against. So yeah, it's for the campaign it's two, but for the survival mode it's four. So yeah, hit me
I'll
up.
play
Hit me
that.
up.
I haven't tried
I'd be
it yet.
down for that.
yeah, maybe
I'd be
I'd
down
be
for
down
that.
for it one day.
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up with that. I'm with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd like to try the
Absolutely.
co-op. Never even tried any of those multiplayer.
You should
modes,
definitely
so
try the co-op. If
just
you
the
like,
single
if you
player
want to
solo.
try it
Me
with one of
neither.
us, or if you got a buddy or something, definitely
Yeah.
try the co-op.
Yeah, I've never tried
Definitely.
the co-op and I played 3 and 4. So that's crazy. I always build the single.
Oh,
player.
it's fun, man. It's so much fun. Like this, right now. I mean, it's not my game of the year. There's a
Yeah.
few other games that are up there for that, but it's like
Mhm.
it's so much
Elden
better
Ring.
than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, definitely Elden Ring is good. But it's like it's so much better than I thought it was gonna be, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited to keep playing more, honestly, because we've still got like a lot left of that game to play, if I'm not mistaken. Like
Yeah,
7,
there's
8
nine
levels.
levels. There's 9 levels, and then there's a 10th one for purchase. And it's
Yeah,
only and it's $6. So like if it's
yeah,
that fire, then I might
Might
do
as
it.
yeah.
well,
I'll
man.
get it. I'll get it.
But anyways, moving along. Did everybody get their piece out about
Oh yeah.
No, we missed. We're gonna say the best for last.
Oh wait, yeah. Mike had see what happens, Mike? See what happens?
Yep.
Should have just went
I was
first.
just waiting. I was gonna correct you. I was gonna correct you. Don't worry. I absolutely adore this game. I've been busy as fuck for the last few days, and I already have 10 hours and 20 minutes on it. I think it's genuinely fucking awesome. It has its issues. It still has its bit of that rebellion jank. Some weird stuff like I'll shoot a Nazi in the head in the car, but the door is still opening, like he's getting out, and then all of a sudden his body just
Oh
plops on
yeah.
the floor. Like that
Yeah.
does happen. I'm not going to pretend that doesn't exist, but the game is so goddamn fun. I love the fact that I feel like I'm going to do this any way I want. I want to sneak around the map, get around everything without setting off a single Nazi, letting them know I'm there. You can do it. Do you want to beat the level without killing a single person? Yeah, you can do it. I don't know why you do it, but you can do it. Like you want to
That's
go
like
completely guns blazing? Do it.
Mhm.
I think it's and like with Ham said, the music. I completely agree. It's very atmospheric. It doesn't just feel kind of slapped on this time. It really fits the level, the
Tone,
mood of what you're
atmosphere.
doing, and the atmosphere.
And
And
it
I honestly think
changes. It
personally,
changes depending
it
on
does.
where you're
So it's
at
like
in the level.
dynamic music,
Yeah.
like dynamic or yeah.
And I honestly, personally, I mean, I could be just playing on the OLED, and because of fucking, there's certain people say, because of how the pixels are shown, but I really think this game's gorgeous, personally. I genuinely, it's like obviously not the best game ever, visually or anything like that, but I personally think the game is really, really pretty to look at.
I think it looks
Like
great.
especially
It looks clean.
especially that second level where you're going into that like no, it's the third one that like that castle in the middle of the island. It's called Spy Academy. Like you remember? Did you guys play that one yet? Where
We're
like
that
you have
Not
to
one.
really.
cross.
We're on that's our next one. I think is the third
Oh,
level.
dude,
I'm very
that
early.
level is freaking gorgeous, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Nice.
Like I could like literally talk about this game like a ton. I just think and the story gets real, and that's the thing is this is where the story picks up is Spy Academy, and it's where it gets really interesting. It's not like to the point of like, oh my god, this is gonna be some like AAA God of War interesting, but it's like
Yeah,
a okay, what the hell is going on here interesting. The thing is though,
yeah.
and a lot of people might overlook it, listen to what the Nazis are saying. And I understand it's in German, and I understand you got to read the subtitles, but there's a lot of things you'll miss if you do not pay attention to what the Nazis are saying and understanding what's going on, because you'll get a clue a bit earlier than what the game will actually fully tell you.
Okay.
So that I just love all the little side missions, like side objectives you can do. Like, oh, there's an AA gun over there. You can go blow it up if you want. Oh, there's a target you got to go kill. Go seek them out and snipe them. I just really like that like sense of like like you're really behind enemy lines. Like this game really to me like feels like go do your shit. Like whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want to do, just go do it. It's going to be hard on some levels to go gun blazing. Like one level I'm on right now, there's tanks absolutely everywhere. But you know, and they'll fuck you up with like no one's business. But I just really think this game does a great job of accommodating to people's play styles. Like I feel like, you know, like the fact that like I don't know if this was in the fourth one because I didn't play that one much. I played like 10 minutes or 20 minutes of it and I was just kind of like not feeling it. But like I love the fact you can go up to like a Jeep or a Nazi Jeep and you sabotage it so it's like going like making like these like random noise like the engine's all like kind of exploding, and if you time your shots correctly they don't realize a bullet's going off, so you can kill people without them really knowing it's a bullet unless they find the body of course, or they see your muzzle flash. And I just think that is so cool. It's such a nice
That's the 4.
attention.
That was a new that was a new one 4.
That was in 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to go back and replay 4 then. I just think that's such a nice and cool like because you can then what you can do is then like let's say you don't even want to kill anybody in that area, sabotage all the sound areas you can, and then go somewhere else and raise hell. They likely, unless you do something insane, won't hear it because of all the noise pollution you have in that other area. Like you can big brain this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much
Yeah.
fun. It's so much fun. There's like
I forgot
you
about
can just
the
tell
noise
that
aspect. That thing is cool though, because it sounds so jank.
it does.
But it's like a
The
good
whistle?
it's like a good jank. It's
Yeah.
just like, damn, that is loud and annoying.
Yeah, loud and annoying. Yeah, dude, did you ever use the whistle where he goes like, it like sounds so distorted and like something from like a Game Boy game. It's so weird, but man, I fucking love the game. I really love the game so far. The series got me back into it with Nazi Zombie Army 4. I was like, oh shit, these Sniper Elite games are pretty dope. So, which is another
I gotta
banger
play that
people should
zombie
play.
one. Yeah, I heard
It's
all
so
good things
good,
about
Zombie
dude.
that one.
Army
The
is
DLCs are
fun.
kind. Yeah, the
Killing
DLCs.
It
zombies
is.
is always
To
fun.
be honest, they gotta fucking stop with the DLCs. There's like 20, like there's like 10 like DL story DL. It's like fucking stop. Make a new one. Take a chill pill.
Yeah.
Breathe. But man, I could go on all night. I'm not saying the game's perfect. It has a fair share of its jank. Like the third, like the switch camera angles. You have to hold LT and press Y. It's so weird. It's like, but you know, I'm not gonna fault them too much for that. But
I
yeah,
feel like
man.
even the
Sorry, I don't mean
cover
to gush.
system. I feel like even the cover system kind of didn't work half the time.
Yeah,
I was trying to cover. He
yeah.
isn't, he isn't really doing it. You know.
Yeah,
It's
it's the cover is very finicky. It's like, yeah,
yeah.
you just have to press the crouch button by a wall. I'm
I
like,
was
well,
like, this
I'm
is not
fucking
working.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, he's just looking at the wall, but okay, you know. So
Yeah.
there's things they can definitely improve,
Yeah.
but I think they really got something really special with the formula here. And now maybe for next time, just focus on if they really want to, maybe improving the way the story beats go. Um, maybe some cutscene, like the first cutscene, like major cutscene where you meet Blue Viper is really kind of janky and weird, but uh uh yeah, you know, I could keep talking all fucking night, so I'm gonna hand it
For the
off.
rest of the
I'm
podcast.
really
I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree with what Twan just kind of said about the cover system, though.
Yeah.
That's the
It
one
doesn't
thing
work.
I absolutely love about like Gears, and
Yeah.
I really like about
Oh, yeah.
what's that game? People Can Fly. That's right on the tip of my tongue. Can't think of it.
Outriders.
Outriders, thank you. The cover in
Yeah.
Outriders is freaking fantastic as well.
And also the XCOM game, that the cover system is fantastic.
It just feels like you get sucked into that cover spot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's
Especially
just
Gears,
like
like,
I
magnet.
don't think anything's gonna mess with me at all unless I get
Yeah.
flanked. Like
Yeah.
like brilliant cover systems. I think they could definitely improve on that in Sniper Elite going forward. But let's go ahead and move it to the next subject. We're going to go into the weekly breakdown, just kind of talk about what kind of news that we've heard within gaming as of lately. And I'm going to go right back to our guest to kick it off. KMEGA, toss some news our way.
Oh man, okay.
No pressure. Just kidding.
Oh man,
He's got news all the time, man.
I got-
That's what he
yeah.
does. Half of his life is the
Yeah.
news.
All right, so basically, okay, let's talk about let's talk about this. We talked about it on GRG. And I just want to hear what everybody else's thoughts about it. I think it's a one of those things you could look at in hindsight and see if it's a fail now, or would you feel that it is?
Oh,
That's about the Spider-Man Marvel situation that went to Microsoft, and then
yeah.
Microsoft reject them, and then also with the KOTOR remake, Asper came up to them as well and was asking, hey, we can make this exclusive, or we'd like to get the funding and your support,
That's
and
a
they
fail.
turned it down
Okay.
as well. Now, what I want to know from you guys, which one is the bigger fail? Because for me personally, I think the Spider-Man thing is not.
Hands down.
Well, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Mine for me, the Spider-Man thing isn't a fail because my point of view my point of view behind it is this: we don't know what studio at that time, because when they came to them, that was in 2014. There was only like
Yeah.
7 to 8 studios. They could have had a
Would have
second
killed
party,
Spider-Man. They
right?
would have
And
fucking killed.
well, and it could have, yeah,
They
they could have easily killed just with the lack of marketing, the fact that Mirison and them were not all in with Xbox. This is before Phil Spencer came and took over, and Xbox was on his last leg, and then also the bad press that Xbox was getting in 2014. That I just don't see that Spider-Man would have been anything different, even if it was a good game, because we've played good games on Xbox, but they still got shellacked. So I just don't think. I think in hindsight, when you look at it, yeah, it's because Insomniac took it over, but I think it's just better where it's at. I think Sony just did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Sony got it's in its rightful place where with Sony and with Insomniac, in my opinion. But the KOTOR thing for me is the
That's
biggest
a
fail.
fucking L.
That's
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 pathetic because
an
that was
L.
an Xbox PC
Yeah,
exclusive.
yeah, it was
Right,
an
right,
Xbox
That's
right.
for the
pathetic.
longest time. Yeah.
And that to me is, and even though this KOTOR remake will come to Xbox, as but it's going to be a day one exclusive for PlayStation, and to me that
Greatness.
yeah, well, say
I'm
what you
buying
will,
it day one.
but yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, I'll
like,
probably
it's
buy
just
it there.
it's crazy. So my question to you, to everybody on the panel and in the chat, what do you think is the biggest fail, and how do you feel about it overall?
Mind if
Uh,
All right, I think I'm
I
going to
see
go
who's
on ahead
going
and go
first.
first so I can just
You're gonna
get
go first?
mine out of the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
go on ahead and just get mine out of the way because I already kind of talked about this on KMEGA's podcast. And
Alright.
I'm going to stand firm on what I said. I mean, I, I know there's a lot of people that are really big into Star Wars. But if you followed Star Wars, and I'm saying before the original Xbox, it has always kind of been everywhere. And I mean, you can say that exact same thing about Spider-Man, but I'm gonna bring up something that Loke said. Like Spider-Man is like known worldwide. No matter which
Star Wars is
Spider-Man,
way bigger
I
than
get.
Spider-Man.
Uh,
Star
It is.
That's way bigger
well,
than Spider-Man.
well,
Way
well,
bigger.
Ham, he's kind of right there.
He's kind
He's
of
kind
right.
of right there.
I don't know. I
It's
don't know,
both.
man. Every Star Wars
Yeah.
movie's made like almost triple of any Spider-Man movie.
Star Wars,
And I
and I never
that's
even
just my
thought about
opinion, though.
that.
well,
Comic
That's
but
my
books.
opinion.
Well,
but
this
Gotta mute
Spider,
myself,
this
sorry.
last Spider-Man kicked ass. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
one of the
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
movies of all time.
so
Oh, yeah.
say whatever
Spider-Man
you
is-
want. Say whatever you want about Star Wars. There is not a single character on Star Wars that you play as every single game. You know this person in and out. You know their you know their family members. Like I mean, let's not say Star Wars is just a lot bigger. Like dude, everybody knows Peter Parker and
Fact.
who he is.
Fact.
I have
Everybody
things to say about
knows
what you're saying,
Oh,
though.
everybody knows
Keep
Uncle Ben. You know, like
But they would've killed Spider-Man,
superheroes are massive. And like the comic books and dude, like just playing as a superhero is super duper dope.
Mhm.
The difference that I'm throwing out is that Spider-Man is that Star Wars games has just went all over the place throughout the history of it. You'll be a racer in one game. You'll be a person with a gun in another game. You'll be Star Killer in another game. There's just so much bouncing around with it that I feel like that if you could have locked down just having Spider-Man, you could always get some sort of Star Wars in your cabinet, but you'll never be able to get Spider-Man, and you can't now. Look at where we're at, where Star Wars, yeah, it's coming as as a timed exclusive. Who knows how long that timed is? It could be fucked, right? It could be like a freaking Final Fantasy,
VII.
right? It could be like Final
Yeah,
Fantasy.
it could be Final
VII.
Fantasy VII.
It could
Never
be
coming to Xbox.
terrible, which would suck.
I
But
hope
the
it
thing is it's really, really rare, which I don't really remember. Well, I'm guessing maybe KOTOR was the last one that was exclusive. Am I
why
wrong?
it's an L.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
KOTOR
KOTOR 1 and 2.
That was
were
the
original
last one
Xbox
that was an
exclusives.
exclusive. But before that, Star Wars did have exclusive games on other consoles like N64s. The 64
That's why
that
it's
had
an L,
Racer.
though, because
What was the one for GameCube?
Rogue Squadron 2.
Rogue,
Yeah,
Rogue
yeah.
Squadron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rogue.
Yeah, I love
that
Rogue
one was
Squadron.
exclusive on there. And to me, it wasn't that. I don't know. I know you guys have a lot of feelings for KOTOR, but for me, it's just kind of like, but but whenever I go into a store and I happen to walk across and be like, oh snap, a Spider-Man game, I just pick it up automatically. But when I go to the store and see Star Wars, I'm just like,
A personal preference thing, though.
It is a
But
personal
but to me, it's just that there's so many different things in Star Wars
That's how I feel
that
about
when I
Spider-Man,
purchase
though.
the game,
It's the same thing
when I
over and
purchase
over.
It
when
could
I
be so many
purchase the
things.
game, when I purchase a Star Wars game, I have no idea what I'm going to get. But when I purchase,
It could be a racing game.
But when I purchase, yeah, exactly, it could be a racing game. It could
Be a
be
shooting
this,
game,
that, and
flying
the third.
game.
It could
Yeah.
be more online than I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
But when you get a Spider-Man game, you know it's going to be single player. You know you're going to
Yeah.
be swinging around on the web. You know you're going to have something to do with the Spider-Verse, storyline or
Yeah.
whatnot. And I don't know. I just feel like when I bring my kiddo to the store and I say, hey, look for a game, she's more likely going to go grab that Spider-Man game than grab a Star Wars game.
It's more kid friendly. It is more kid friendly. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But that's my piece. Move on. I'm actually going to go on ahead and go to you, Mike, next, just because I know you're a big Star Wars fan. I just know you're a big Star Wars fan. So I just want you to speak
honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to even say L about the whole Spider-Man thing. My biggest thing, right, is I really think Microsoft would have fucking absolutely devastated that IP if they got it regardless, because 2014 Microsoft was an absolute joke of a company. Especially in the Xbox division. They basically burned almost every single bridge with every second party they worked with to make games. Like, they fucked up their shit with Crytek. They didn't do anything with after the greatness of Sunset Overdrive with what the fuck are they called? Insomniac.
Yeah.
I just feel like, in my opinion, I get you everyone saying it's an L, but I guess I'm seeing it through this way. Like, I think for the good of Spider-Man, Microsoft should never have touched that game ever.
Yeah.
I just think that waiting until 2024 or 2025 to finally have a good Spider-Man game is a scary thought for me. You know what I mean? I think, because I get what you're saying, Ham. It is a massive L. I mean, in a sense, in hindsight. But like, to
Yeah,
me,
this is
I'm
totally
thinking
in
of it as
hindsight.
like,
Totally in hindsight.
so like,
Right.
so like, I totally agree with you in that. In hindsight, it is. But for me, as a person that just wants, good game, and I'm not saying you're not a fanboy. You play everything, you like everything. So please don't think I'm saying that, because I know you're not that.
Depends on what day of the week it is, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever tweet you want to go viral. But yeah, for me, I think I'm just more so upset about the whole KOTOR thing, because it had such a legacy on Xbox. It was like, that was a big RPG, especially when KOTOR 2 launched. I remember that launch. And I remember, like, Republic Commando was an exclusive. There's another one, I can't fucking remember its name off the top of my head. Like, they were starting to, like, kind of build and I don't, I don't care that's not exclusive, but I just feel like the fact that KOTOR had such a history of a lot of Xbox players' hearts that
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's more of like at the end of the day a personal preference thing for a lot of people. Like, cause like I was just sitting there and realizing, like you said, you're like, oh, you're gonna be Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and this and that. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of to me, that's kind of a little boring. I loved Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, though. Those games were
But Spider-Man is
masterpieces in
so
my
good.
opinion. Um, so um, so that it's a personal preference thing because like I can understand where you're like, I don't know what this game's gonna be. This game to me that's exciting. To somebody that knowing who Peter Parker is, that's super exciting. You know what I mean? It's what I kind of just
Yeah.
realized while I was sitting here, like this is really a personal preference thing. In hindsight, both of them are definitely L's in the fact that the Spider-Man's gone forever, and I'm pretty sure if Microsoft wanted to, they could lock down Star Wars, but I really don't want them to,
Yeah,
because
they don't need to. Like,
Right.
yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
they
need
don't need to do
yeah,
that.
because also I do sometimes worry about old Microsoft kind of showing their head from time to time. Like I do worry about that because like when
Well,
Phil Spencer, because who the fuck knows what'll happen? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like
Yeah,
I don't want them to lock down absolutely everything. So, but no, yeah, Ham, I think you're right. It is absolutely an L, and it probably is a bigger L than Star Wars. I think I was speaking more from personal preference,
Yeah.
but for me, I
yeah,
think KOTOR just hurts more because it spawned a few Xbox exclusives and Xbox deals and
I
then
see
just to
that
be
point. I
approached
totally
by
do.
them. Yeah. And just the fact that they got approached and that Microsoft like, 2014 Microsoft making a bad mistake doesn't surprise me. Don Matrick was there. That doesn't surprise me at all. So he was still there then, right? Yeah. Yeah,
I
24.
think he was. I think he was on his
He was
way
like,
out, but he was still
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
He just stepped
Well,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
think
Anderson took over. Yeah,
Yeah,
he left.
because I
He
think
left
that's
right
the
after when the Xbox One was released in 2013.
Mhm.
yeah,
okay, yeah,
that's the thing. It's right then. I think like Phil was saying, I think they were wondering if they even wanted to even keep Xbox alive at that point. I think they
yeah,
were going through that motion for like 3 years until Phil kind of was like, all right, like guys,
Mhm.
we can make this work.
Yeah.
Um, so like I don't know, maybe that's why I don't see it as a huge L because like yeah, 2014 Microsoft and Xbox is kind of like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Throughout for a long time. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying, Ham. Yeah, it's weird. Microsoft, I don't know, man. It's weird. Yeah, I actually really agree with what you're saying there, Ham. Personally, it's fucking. Microsoft makes a lot of weird decisions. How about that? They make a lot of weird decisions.
They
Well,
do,
they have.
and like, and what I just wanted to like say, just to throw, to toss in the fire as well, is that, I mean, I really was hearing what Loke was saying the other day because it's just like, it's not exactly that. Hey, Sony can now make this timed exclusive for KOTOR that's bad. To me, it's just like, bro, you gave them the whole IP
Mhm.
to Spider-Man. Like, we don't get to get a timed thing for that at all. That's
Yeah,
not an
Like
option.
locked
That's gone.
in.
well, let me
yeah,
make,
it's gone.
let me push back just a little bit. I'm agreeing with you guys because I think, but that, like I said, in hindsight, at this point,
Yeah, this is all hindsight, 100%.
because I
Yeah.
mean, if let's say, five, 505 games was what got him, or Gearbox got Spider-Man, and let's just say the Gearbox destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? So like
Ah,
we wouldn't have known at that time. Spider-Man wasn't it's always been a big franchise, but it's never been a huge conglomerate in video games. It's always kind of been mid-level because Activision just wasn't going to put the money behind it. But the point where I'll push back on with the Spider-Man situation, Marvel, I mean, like, we go back to, in that same book where that information was in, Sony rejected Marvel Studios when Marvel Studios went and tried before Disney bought them, and Sony rejected. It's like, no, we don't want that. And just think about that. Looking at if just see if all of Marvel was owned by Sony Pictures, do you think we would be getting the MCU that we got now?
You,
Absolutely not.
you know, and I have to agree with you on that because, like, I'm happy with where Spider-Man is right now.
Right, right.
I'm
So,
100% happy with where
yeah.
they are because because where Insomniac has taken Spider-Man is now the benchmark.
Right, it's the
yeah,
benchmark, and and the person that took over at the time for Marvel Games, He wanted to make it the benchmark, and nobody was willing to pay for it except for Sony. And since Insomniac looked at this opportunity, at that time Microsoft wasn't trying to spend extra money on anything. Like the person that was in charge was thinking Windows was more important than Xbox, and you saw it hurt the Xbox marketing. You saw it hurt it with everything else. Like you said, he burned so many bridges at that point, and they were even. And I don't know if you guys heard about this, but this is an actual true story. They were going to sell off Halo to Gearbox, and it was Bonnie Ross and Phil Spencer that stopped it. Bonnie Ross was the first one who was like, "No, we can't do this," and Phil talked Morrison into keeping it, and then at that point, he was like, all right, whatever. But they were going to let Xbox be bought out by somebody or just let it fade away.
Sega.
Until Phil, you know what, Sega could have been, yeah. But then Phil went to Sadia and said, look, we either all in this or we're not. Fuck the bullshit. We need to either we're in or we're not.
Yeah.
And that meeting changed everything. And then you seen it takes time to get everything rolling again. But that's just how close everything was. And Xbox had Spider-Man. Spider-Man would have been a lost cause, in my opinion. Just and I'm an Xbox fan here talking. So the KOTOR thing is the one thing that bothers me to the core, because when you look at it from that, like that's just like if PlayStation let Twisted Metal go. Or something of that nature that fans know or that's synonymous with PlayStation from the get, and then you look at it and it's over here on Xbox or on Nintendo, that just doesn't make any sense. So that's something that was more recent. That was like 2017, 2018. So Phil was in charge at that time. So I myself just look at that as like, oh shit, that's the L for me. That's the L for me. So.
Well, if you think about, you said this was like back in 2014 with the whole Spider-Man
Yes.
thing, right? So if you think about this is around the time when Insomniac was actually branching out of PlayStation, and they actually even partnered with Xbox to make Sunset Overdrive, right? So theoretically, it would have been possible for Microsoft to actually hire Insomniac to make this game for Xbox. If you think in an alternate universe, it could have happened.
But remember, like you said, they were burning bridges because they did the same thing with the second version of the one Insomniac game that was on Xbox, Sunset Overdrive. Like they were pretty much begging. They made it public. Like we would love to work on this game. So that's just to say, like Microsoft would have been one of those things of like, okay, yeah, well we own the Spider-Man property. Well, let's just go ahead and just hold on to it and just wait. Or they could have burned another bridge with Insomniac and still had somebody else work on it, and it'd be a complete fail. Just look at the track record of all the games that were supposed to be slated with the second party, and we didn't get either a sequel or the games got canceled. I mean, you look at the Scalebound, you look at the situation with Recore, you look at Quantum Break, you look at Crackdown 3, like anything that had to do with
interject a little bit too about an add to the point you're making, just super quick.
Oh yeah, that
era Microsoft really sucked about letting developers do their thing. Scalebound, they forced them to put a multiplayer in it. They wanted Crackdown 3 to have a cloud-only multiplayer thing.
Yes.
There was some other shit they just that time, I think, and I understand hindsight fucking sucks. But in the moment, just I really think they because like after the Amazing Spider-Man games, like a lot of people were like, ooh, about Spider-Man games because they really I kind of actually enjoyed the first one because it kind of reminded me of like the Batman games, and the second one was god awful. But like I'm worried that everyone will always buy a Spider-Man game, but like, and I'm sure it would sell a lot, but I'm really happy with the amount of good Spider-Man we now have compared to like the free for all that even though there's a lot of good ones in the 2000s
back in Activision.
But
Activision era.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Like it's an L, but it's at the same time like it's probably the best for gamers. It was probably the better L to take.
All right, well that's fantastic. Let's move on to another topic for the weekly breakdown. Now I want to move over to Twan. I want to see what's kind of been going around in your feed and whatnot lately.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty big one, actually. Is anyone actually looking forward to the state of play? Anyone?
I am, of
Man,
course.
how's the state of
I
play?
do.
It'll be interesting.
Everyone's.
Yeah, they're doing
Feel
this.
third
They're doing
party.
a state of play on
Oh,
June
yeah,
the 2nd.
Yeah, it's
PSVR.
supposed to be
honestly,
like a big third party one.
yeah,
right?
they're doing one. Of them.
Half-Life
Yeah.
Alex. Get
I think
Half-Life
so, yeah.
Alex, and I'll buy a PSVR 2. Get it.
Honestly,
Get it.
yo, I would actually be so down for that because I have a VR,
I'd
right?
buy
And like,
PSV.
I was actually thinking of getting, the Steam one just so I could play it on my PC. Like, I really want to play that game, and I would kill for a
Sony, get
PlayStation
it.
version of it,
Sorry, go on.
but I doubt it.
Yeah.
But
Go
if it was
on.
like a
Sorry,
PSVR
man.
2 thing, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
No, but but yeah, it's like I don't know. I just can't really like. I want to be excited for these things, but I don't know. I can't really get excited for these state of plays. Like I
I'm
feel
kind of
like
excited. You know, I'm always excited
You're
to hear
looking
some
forward
news.
to it?
Oh yeah, I'm always excited to
Yeah,
hear
but
news, even if it's not
Yeah.
great. Like something
Yeah.
is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just keep the
Okay.
expectations really low, you know. It's like I'm not really,
Well, I
I'm not
mean,
gonna let they're gonna
yeah,
set
they
the world on fire, right?
they kind of set expectations. Like like everyone's gonna be like, "Where's Ragnarok?" Well, they told you
Yeah,
it's
they
third
already
party.
said that.
Third party. So just like set your expectations to be it's third party. You'll probably see maybe Final Fantasy 16 if that's your sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like there's a chance you'll see something of that level there. So it's still
Forspoken will
stuff.
probably be there.
Yeah, Forspoken's
Yeah,
probably going to be
probably,
there,
yeah.
which like everybody's hype is dying for that game. That's still one of my most anticipated games this year, like by a pretty good long shot. But like, yeah, there's gonna be stuff there. They're not gonna put on a show and just give you nothing.
Yeah.
They'll have something for you. Like, I'm excited to check it out.
Nintendo
It'll be
Direct.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nintendo Directs are really. I usually like
No,
Nintendo Directs. They're usually
they're
pretty good.
usually pretty good. They just
Yeah.
had like in 2020 a few really because of COVID. It was COVID. That was really the
Yeah.
reason. Some really like their big announcement was like some weird ass looking like side scroll. It was like there's just some weird. And it's not their fault. COVID fucked everything.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, but I
go on.
feel like usually these state of plays are usually just updates to games we usually know about. Usually, I feel. You know?
usually yeah.
But
As long as it's
I mean, I
not
think
like
the
the
last one
Gran
wasn't too bad,
Turismo.
though.
As long as it's not like the Gran Turismo one. That
oh,
one
I
was
forgot
boring as
about
hell.
that one.
That
completely.
one was man.
Yeah.
When they were talking about the weather, I wanted to
Man.
just take a nap, bro. Like
10
that.
out of 10. 10 out of 10.
It was
I remember you
surprised you
talking
even watched
about
that
that in the
entire
party
thing.
ham. You were like, "What the fuck is this?" I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. That was
I-
that was too much. That was too much talking about the weather when I'm driving. Which I mean, I get
Yeah.
why you'd want to bring it up because that
Next
is
gen
part of the
graphics, I
track
don't know.
conditions. That will track conditions can be affected by the weather, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But the way that they drug it out and they're like, look at these stars. Look at the stars, how they move. And I'm like, dude, I don't care about that at all. I'm not going to be looking at the
I'm not gonna
stars in the
notice it.
middle of the race. I promise you.
Yeah.
That's what makes a racing game great. Is the
Oh
stars.
my god. Yeah, don't you know that, bot?
They
but
have
but
oh,
what's
okay,
up? Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I was going to say that there's a supposed leak out there showing what is supposed to be slated for the state of play. I don't know if you guys seen it yet.
Ooh.
Oh, do you
I have
see
not.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
some
go
too,
ahead
but
and read it off if you got it.
yeah.
But okay,
Oh yeah,
so
I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah, it's saying Project Destructive.
Oh, I
there'll
did
be
see this earlier. Continue, though, please.
yeah, the final trailer to Stray, Street Fighter 6, pretty interesting. I mean, but I can see
That would
to
be
try to get
interesting.
some marketing in.
Yeah.
Project Eve, which now we did find out that Sony did get the timed exclusive rights for that game because that game was slated to come at the same time on Xbox and PlayStation, but it seemed like PlayStation picked up that's why they delayed it. Forspoken, Little Devil
yeah.
Inside, and then a game called Teacher. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
that's like a cartoony
indie.
kind of game.
Yeah, Then for the VR side of it, it's a game called Overview. Then it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 VR, Resident Evil Village,
That'd be interesting.
Last Hope Update, which is VR, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, game called, I think, Demonorium, which is a PlayStation VR game. And then the last announcement on this list said Resident Evil 4 2023.
That
So it's like the
see that
remake
would
Resident Evil 4?
that would be a big thing to show. That would be very big to show.
Sounds like a lot for a state of play, to be honest.
Yeah, usually they don't stuff that much in there.
The
Well, if
Usually.
state of plays are
it's,
typically like 30 minutes, right?
I know,
Yeah.
but if this is more of a, well, I mean, this is all. It's got a timer. Like each thing is around 2 minutes. So around
Huh.
maybe yeah. So
Right.
it says
Yeah, I guess
the
it'll be
last,
very brief.
yeah, the last thing will be it will end in 29 minutes and 51 seconds with the Resident Evil 4. So and that says from 28 minutes 38 seconds to 29 minutes 51 seconds. So everything is showing a time and everything. So if this is not legit, you have to give credit to the person putting this shit together.
He's got an imagination.
Yeah.
He's got an imagination if that's not
I mean,
real.
they're all possible. I mean, like we know about the Resident Evil 4 remake already, right?
Yes.
And we haven't
yeah.
really heard much about it too. So, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure about
You know,
Street
if
Fighter
it-
6.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, like I'm not sure about Street Fighter 6, their partnership with that game, because obviously with Street Fighter 5, they funded that game and they got a nice little console exclusivity deal because of that. I'm not sure if the same thing's gonna happen with Street Fighter 6 if they're going through the same thing.
Oh
or
no,
not.
this is
But,
gonna be a multi-plat. Yeah, because they lost so much money
Okay,
on
that-
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes
From what
sense,
I
yeah.
thought, they were pretty disappointed in how that game turned out.
Very.
Yeah.
Worst selling Street Fighter in history.
Damn.
Man,
That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
it's
L.
only one
Holy-
platform.
That's
like
really
the first
good.
one only on one platform.
And,
You know what? Yeah.
you got to remember, Capcom was proud of Devil May Cry for $5 million, so that had to be a L
Yeah.
for what they took with Street Fighter.
It didn't crack the 1 million mark until it's like 2.5 years.
Ooh,
Man.
So yeah, it was
Holy shit.
awful.
that's really bad for a premium fighter game that's been
Right.
around for 20
You said
plus
1
years.
million?
It didn't crack 1 million until after its second year.
Hell, Street Fighter's been around for almost 30 years, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
For Street that was
So
the
for
one.
the 5th iteration to do that bad is
Mhm.
a travesty.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I didn't even think of it like that way, Ham. You're
That's pretty-
completely right. Yeah,
not
Ham, I
bad.
didn't even think of it
Yeah,
that
even-
way. That sounds
Like even when Street
Oh
Fighter
my
4 came out,
God.
it came out around the time when like fighting games were kind of dying off, but then Street Fighter 4 kind of revived that scene,
Yeah.
and
They
that did
re-released
really well.
Street Fighter 4 like 8 times.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like
It's
it's 5 different versions
on
of
like
Street Fighter
70
4.
different platforms. It was ridiculous. It was, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a
dude,
3DS
Ham.
version on live.
Yep, I had it.
Everything.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
the 3DS version is
excited.
Pretty cool.
I'm excited if this list is real. I'm even more excited for the event just because from what it looks like that KMEGA just kind of read off that this is going to be a lot of gameplay and not a whole lot of talking. And what I don't
Thank
like
goodness.
is when these directs or these showcases or whatnot. I mean, remember when Paris had that thing? And
After the showcase?
yeah, it was after the showcase, and it was just like it was supposed to be kind of like another showcase, but it was like kind of showing off the game, but like a lot of sit downs. And I don't mind watching sit downs. In fact, I like watching sit downs, but I like to know that that's what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
When they take you to talk for 5 or 10 minutes about catapults and stuff like that, I'm just like, bro, I came here just to see what y'all were offering real quick and keep it moving. If I wanted to see something about this game specifically, developer and all that kind of stuff, I kind of wish, like if you want to lump it in with other games, cool to keep the watch time up on it, obviously. That's fine, but can we say, hey, this is going to be a sit down time, and this is going to be like an hour long, and we're going to sit down and talk about some of the nitty gritty things within each game, but you come to this show earlier that day, and we're just going to give you quick 2-minute hits of each game, give you a taste of what it's like, and just kind of keep it moving, and that's the end of the show. I'm more into that kind of stuff, and then later on, after I've got acclimated to, man, I really want to kind of know more about what this game's about, then I'd want to watch something where there's a sit down and you're telling me crazy shit about catapults and whatnot. Separate
Yeah,
events would be
definitely.
nice for that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's
I agree
keep.
100%.
But did you have something just
Actually,
to add real
wait,
quick, Ton?
there's
Oh,
E3s, like especially back when Sony was doing them, was they'd always used to have the whole orchestrated thing at the beginning. It's like, come on, it's like, can we just get to the games
Yeah.
already? It's
I
like they always
remember
have all
that.
this fluff
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, we get it. There's music, right? Blah blah blah, right? Just let's get this
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
It's just to increase the watch time, right? It's just, oh man, that's just something that I just do not miss at all.
Yeah, it's a
You know?
spotlight type of thing where
Right.
we have you here now, and we're gonna make sure that
Yeah.
you see this. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in fact,
Watch.
to me, a little bit that kind of, I don't know, it kind of kills it a little bit for me to the point where I'm like I'm not
cool,
really
but-
watching it, or I'll just pause it and go do something real quick and then fast forward through it when I get back. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I need to knock out the dishes
100%.
anyways, and y'all talking about some bullshit, so I'm gonna pause this real quick and knock out these dishes.
That's fine.
Because I remember how jealous Matt was when I got to watch the Game Awards after it was over.
Dude, we sat through that whole thing, like me, the Talk Story folks sat through that whole thing live and just watched. And dude, it opened with Hellblade, and you're like, dude, this show's gonna be fucking crazy. And you're like, and then you're like watching some like K-pop, some K-pop dance. I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you got
Game
to-
Awards
you
still
got
has
to-
that E3
Have to
ness
fast
to it.
forward to that whole thing after the fact.
That's funny.
Dude,
Yeah,
Good Lord.
it just kills. It
Keely
kind of
just
kills
makes
the spirit of the
bangers.
show a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Another Jeff Keighley banger.
Right? God bless him.
But anyways, all right. Well, let's keep it moving. Matt, what you got?
Did you guys see that the Uncharted movie is but it's being announced for 2023, which makes me wonder if the game's release coincides with it in any way whatsoever. Like, do we see
Are you
Uncharted?
talking about Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I said Uncharted. Indiana Jones.
Oh, I was wait a sec. I'm like,
Yeah, I got
But
confused.
The movie is set to release in 2023, and I'm wondering if the game's release coincides with it. Like, maybe we could see something at the showcase, and then maybe it releases in 2023 right next to the movie.
hmm I don't know. I feel like that's too soon. I feel like we don't really. If we get something at this showcase that Xbox is gonna have, maybe I could see it if they announce something with Indiana Jones, and then they do announce 2023. But right now, I don't know. We haven't really seen anything on that Indiana Jones game. I feel like it's still really early in development. I don't know, but
Yeah, I see what Matt's saying. I get it. Like, if they're coming out with a movie, they'd want a game, and I think he's logically right with that. But I don't think it's ready yet. That's how I'm feeling. But I don't know. Who knows how long this deal's been going? Who knows? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know Machine Games like work environment. I don't know
how
what
fast they
they're
work,
capable
right?
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they could go on.
No, I think that if we don't see Wolfenstein 3 at the showcase, I think Indiana Jones comes out in 2023. I think, like, especially if we don't see Wolfenstein and we see Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like,
It's fair.
but I feel like, because you would technically think that Wolfenstein 3 would be their next game. But we don't, like you said, we don't know when this deal was made. This deal could have been made back in 2018. It could have been made right after the release of Wolfenstein 2. So I feel like if we don't see Wolfenstein 3 there, it makes me believe we would see that game in 2023. Like,
personally,
because earlier than I would imagine.
Yeah, personally, I feel like Indiana Jones would come before Wolfenstein 3. I mean, Indiana Jones was announced like I think a year ago at least now, right?
Right.
So we already know that game even exists. We don't even know if Wolfenstein 3 is a thing. So I just assume that Indiana Jones would come first.
Yeah, everyone like assumes that Wolfenstein 3 has just been in development forever, ever since Wolfenstein 2. But my whole thing is maybe they got that deal right after and they went right into development put development on that on pause and then went right into development for Indiana Jones. And if that's the case, then 2023 is like really reasonable. It's like
we even know
pretty
how
reasonable.
Like, how big is that studio? Like, I don't even no idea. How
Machine
big
Games is like just like it's pretty average AAA studio size,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. It's not really, it's not Naughty Dog huge, but it's a
Yeah.
big studio.
I
Look
feel
that
like
up.
it. I feel like if it came out next year, it'd be like a holiday release type
Yeah,
of thing
100%.
because
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
that movie would fit in the holiday
yeah,
time.
definitely.
So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Do you have anything to add, K
Yeah.
Mega?
No, not really. I think everybody's kind of nailed it. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
think everybody's nailed it.
All right, I guess.
All right, cool. Well,
right,
I'm
guess
gonna
we
go
got
on
that.
ahead and speak on a little bit of news that I've heard, and looks like TCL made a whoopsie recently and announced, or they incidentally put out that there are pro consoles afoot. Do you think that this is something that will happen before 2025? Or do you guys think that this is kind of BS? Or do you think that it is just like going to be slim versions of the consoles that we have now?
Personally, I would expect slim versions. I'm not expecting a Pro anytime soon. I feel like if
Well, that
anything,
PS5 needs to lose some weight. For
yeah,
real.
exactly. I feel like the
Yeah.
Slim would be the first thing, right?
You know, in
Like,
my
Yeah.
and then they're gonna make
just
a
to be
Pro,
super
and they're gonna
quick-
make it bigger. Like, what are they gonna do? You know,
It's like, gonna make it bigger.
Yeah, seriously.
you know, it's like,
You have to have a whole table for it. You know what I mean? Just for it.
like, like you know how big the
Take out a
PS4 Pro
mortgage.
is. Imagine if it got that size, but with the PS5, it's like fuck. You know, it's like you need like it's almost another TV almost.
Yeah.
Man, this
This is
thing's
kinda
bigger
like
than
my
my
opinion.
Vectrex.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just to be super quick, I really don't. You know, I'm not saying it's impossible because knowing Microsoft and Sony, they're like, oh, this definitely made them money. But for me, I feel like just make the generation almost shorter and just
Yeah.
put out a slimmer or something. I don't know how that works. So it's so easy for me. Like, I just make a whole new console. But like, I really don't know because it's. I just want to see what our consoles can do now, please. Like,
I
because
know, right? Why are
we
they talking
haven't
about
even.
pros already?
Yeah.
Well, it's because TCL, like, or whatever the hell they're called, TLC, TCL,
Yeah.
I don't know.
TCL.
I'm loving care.
TCL accidentally, leaked it. I'm just kind of like, okay, all right. But now we're hearing reports of PlayStation still having cross-gen games till 2025. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, it's
Not
like
expecting that,
slow
yeah.
down the talk, slow down the talk
Yeah.
about, a pro version. We can't even get an actual true to
Mhm.
the bone. Like we got
Yeah.
like we got fucking Christ,
Ratchet and
Eternal
Clank.
and
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And even then, those games were great, but like they could do so much more,
Mm-hmm.
and they would
Definitely.
love to. So like, and like
I-
once again, Xbox has all that direct ML in it. It has the velocity architecture. It has the advanced VRS technology, and it has apparently its own built-in super resolution tech that they're working on. There's so much that it's like, and I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if like hey, I'm saying if there is a pro because it's just prints out money. But I'm like, man, I would really love to see this console, being used like at its
Yeah.
full capacity. I love that because the PS4 launch dated, the Xbox One launch dated. We saw it, of course games got, end up, look at The Last of Us 2. But like we have so much headroom for power and capabilities. It just kind of suck
Yeah.
if like they just kind of like, oh, let's just go make a powerful console and
I
yeah.
All
don't.
the day.
I don't think. Like, I don't think TCL. I don't think what they announced is true.
Well, they're
Or if it
talking out
is,
their
I
ass.
think it's just a thing. I just think it's a thing for to get people talking. Because, dude, it's like
And they need those.
I
They
don't
need
think.
those clicks, you know.
Yeah, I don't think they have the. I mean, I could be wrong on this. I don't know the business. I don't think they have the authority to just go ahead and tell people that exists. Like, are there not NDAs in place? Wouldn't you be breaking like a pretty severe rule in your
It's pretty
relationship
big. Yeah.
with both Microsoft and Sony if
Yeah.
you just said, "Hey, by the way, guys, they didn't want us to tell you, but you're getting consoles soon." It's like
Rated
I don't
PlayStation
think
being more powerful than Xbox. That's all it
like,
is.
I don't think they have the authority to just
Oh
do
God,
that.
no.
So it's
They
like,
get sued.
yeah, I feel like they're just kind of speculating, building some type of hype, and ultimately showing off what their TVs, whatever that conference was for, can do. So like, if the consoles, I said it on KMEGA405, but if the consoles come out and you know they are real, then hey, I'll get it. But it's like I don't think we don't need it.
Oh God, no.
It's not necessary. It's especially by 2025. It's not necessary at all. We're not gonna these by 2025. We will not reached the full potential of either of these consoles or the Series S.
No,
We will not have reached
You
it.
don't think so, huh?
No,
well, no,
I
no, no, no.
definitely
We
definitely don't.
haven't. I don't think we've really fully tapped into the Xbox One X, but it's discontinued. So
Yeah, it's discontinued. They just stopped.
they just stopped. I, this is my theory. My theory on it. I do. I believe this. Believe. I don't. You can't go into a conference, talk to your peers, try to get people to want to be invest. You're talking to investors. You're talking to people, tech people. You're talking to all types of serious people in that meeting. You can't just come out here and try to showcase BS. So I believe it. And what's to say that? I mean, and what I said on GRG was like, Microsoft did say that they're not looking to do a mid gen refresh. But like everybody so far has said on the panel tonight is like, yeah, PlayStation needs to have one. Just for the fact of just having a smaller console, something more reasonable to where it don't take up so much space, and for just other things.
Sure.
And I think
I
everybody
think
else
it should take up more space. Greatness should be front and center. All right, sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, but
You have to build a second bedroom for it and everything. All right, sorry.
that's gonna have to start paying rent.
Yeah. Instead of get a second job, get a second house.
Get a second.
Yeah.
Gotta build on, add on.
The house needs to be built into the PlayStation. It doesn't
Right,
need to work the other way around.
Cam gets it. Cam gets it.
And I think everybody would agree that the S is great as the Series S is. It should have a mid refresh because there are some things that
Or I can agree with that.
holds it back from being. I mean, because it is a entryway to a next gen console. But if you have an option for that going forward, that's a little bit more powerful, and still you could have it at the $300 price range. I think that's a no brainer. That's a win. But this is also this is the things that people maybe not they forgot, and this is where I come in doing this stuff. Like if you remember all the information that was coming in back last gen, where they were talking about they're gonna change the console market into like the cell phone type of market, where they'll have different SKUs, like you would buy a cell phone. I think this is where we're going because I've said this and I'm still standing by this. This is going to be probably the longest generation that we've had, even longer than
PS3 and 360.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a long generation just because of what you guys are saying. Is that we know that these consoles are capable of giving so much more power. And we also know that there's different tiers of gamers out there. There's gamers that want entry level just to get to where they can play the newest games, and then there's gamers that do podcasts or that that or just listens to podcasts and that want the newest tech. It's no different than a PC gamer. And so I think that you'll have your elite versions, you'll have your mid tier versions, and then you'll have your entry version. And I think that's, for a business stance, is smart, and it also gives more hype for anybody out there who feels that, well, I bought this Series S, and I've had it for 3 years now. I think it's time for me to upgrade, to the Xbox Pro or to the PlayStation Pro or whatever. Like for me, I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. I'm still looking to get one, but I might hold off because I feel it's true that they're going to do a PlayStation Pro version just to say that they're going to have a more powerful console than the Series X. And like I said on GRG, Phil Spencer made it clear we will not be in that predicament again to where the competition will have the more powerful console. So there is no choice. Even if the specs are so close that the PlayStation Pro is close to, or just a little bit more powerful than the Series X, they're not. Xbox is not going to have that. They're not going to play the second fiddle with the power narrative again, because it seemed that bothered them more than anything else. So that and the no games conversation. So I think so. We're just looking at it's just another whirlwind of what we're seeing within the industry. A lot of people aren't used to it because we've known gaming to be a certain way for so long, but everything is changing. When you got Activision getting purchased, when you look at EA coming out and saying, "Look, man, we want to get acquired by somebody." When you look at all of this movement, Bungie with Sony, like it's nuts out here, and the industry is just turning over, and a new era is beginning, and a lot of us aren't used to it, but I think this is the change of everything, in my opinion.
Like it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Damn, like everybody got quiet.
No, you're right. It's even like the Xbox One being weaker than the PS4 when it first came out, like that hurt them a lot because
a lot.
but especially like in the OG Xbox and the 360 era, like if you wanted multiplats, you wanted to get on those consoles. They were just always the better versions of those games, like especially on the OG Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that was like the first time when the Xbox One came out, to the point where where those versions were inferior. I think like even the earlier games, like they were 1080p on PS4, but it was like 720p on the Xbox One. Like it was a noticeable downgrade.
Yeah.
When I was a PlayStation fanboy, dude, I loved saying
resolution make you a better gamer.
That's
they literally said that. They literally said that.
So,
yep.
That's yeah.
Oh man, that's fantastic. All right, well, let's keep it moving. Let's see, Mike, what you got for us this week?
Well, right on. Thank you. So basically, Phil Spencer here. I'll open up the article just so I can read the headline appropriately. And this is from Windows Central.
Let's go.
He says right here, the article title, and I'll go into depth. Phil Spencer says Microsoft will recognize Raven Software's union, and I think that's a fantastic thing, especially for Activision.
Yes.
I know it's not necessarily all that. I don't know. I don't understand exactly how this union is going to function for all of Activision. I'm not really 100% sure on that, even though I read the article. I'm just still because I'm still kind of learning on the situation as well. But I think that's fantastic. These developers, these people have been through fucking hell for who knows how long. And and I know a lot of people are saying, Microsoft has to say yes. Yes, they have to say. I agree. I understand they technically have to. But the thing is, though, is Microsoft is also, to a point, known for like busting unions' balls. And part of me kind of wonders, and this is not me being like, oh, Phil Spencer's saving the day or anything ridiculous like that. But if Satya Nadella, what's his name?
Nadella.
Yeah, I think part of me wonders, if he was the one, he still had to call the shots 100% for gaming. If he'd be like, yeah, I recognize it, because he's kind of wrapped up in his own stuff about with some unions and Microsoft. He's kind of wrapped up in his own like trying to like no. So a part of me is kind of like, maybe it's a good thing Phil is now the CEO, and apparently he doesn't really have to exactly. I mean, he has to, obviously talk to the other CEO, but he doesn't exactly answer in the same way anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a really good thing for those devs, because they I can't imagine a lot of the shit they went through. You know what I mean? Like, and just the work environment, the fact they had to like just make specific type of game, the things they had to do because they had to. And hopefully Microsoft will not channel in 2014 Microsoft and just, let them exist if this deal goes through.
I think 2014 Microsoft is gone. Like,
that's done.
Like I was disappointed. I was disappointed with some of their messaging recently, but I'm not gonna sit here and be ridiculous and say, well, we are that still. We're not that anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely not.
Just like PlayStation, we're not the PS3 anymore with the fumbling of pricing and stuff like that. They still have some issues to deal with at Sony. They're
Mhm.
not perfect at all, but they definitely hear their people a lot more
Base
than
better.
they have in previous generations. And you see them owning up to things that I don't feel like they used to
Yeah.
be willing to own up to in the past.
It's all about the leadership, you know, and I think, like you
Mhm.
said, they're on such a good path now. I think so. If someone were to step up, I mean, get in there and try to fuck things up, I don't think the rest of the company would allow it to happen because they're really trying to direct them in the right direction. You know what I mean? It's not like because like the head of Xbox, the original Xbox, the 360, it was all over the place. Who was running the companies at that time? You know what I mean? It was like this person was working on, it was the head of this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So it was like always like these like different messaging. But right now, it's a very firm group of people that believe in what they're doing. Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and Aaron Greenberg and a bunch of others really believe in what they're doing, and that does set a precedent for the future. So you're right. The pretend that 2014 is still there. I mean, any company's capable of anything, but the pretend 2014 is like right, peeking around the corner with its beady little eyes isn't a logical thing to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
long story short, it's so good that that union is going to be recognized. I think it's important. Once you start reading all these horror stories about, I understand crunch is going to happen from time to time, but the some of the crunch story, and the things that happen at Activision, we won't even get into that, are like actually crimes against humanity. Some of the
Yeah,
shit that
crimes.
happened,
Like legitimate crimes.
legitimate
Uh,
crimes that people go to jail for like life for. Like,
yeah, I think
um,
it's great that I feel like anyone working at Activision like deserves or under Activision Blizzard in any sort of way the past, I don't know, 7-8 years deserves some sort of like recognition for what they went through. Because I'm sure it wasn't all bad, but you hear a lot of the bad. You hear so much of the bad, and
Especially
it's
as of
like,
recently.
yeah, especially as of
yep.
recently, and it's like, I feel like it's a win. It's a win for them, and they really deserve it. They really deserve it after a very rough, almost decade.
It's a shame because
Almost
they're such
decade.
talented studios too. Toys
There's a
for
lot
Bob,
of really
Treyarch,
talented studios.
like
Yeah,
especially Activision, they have a lot of them and they're really good.
yeah,
Like, remember when the deal went through? I mean, not went through when the deal was announced, and I'll make this short because I don't want to like now turn this into an Activision Blizzard topic.
Yeah.
When developers were going on Twitter just saying the games they wanted to make if this goes through,
yeah,
and it was incredible. Like that one guy, I want to work on Doom, and there was another one like I want to work on like Star, all this. Oh fuck, I
Yeah,
can't remember because the
people
announcement was
were
months ago.
saying
But
Toys for Bob working on Banjo
yeah,
Kazooie possibly as well.
yeah, it's like
yeah,
there's like they don't have to work on Call of Duty for the rest of their life now.
Yeah,
Like Toys for Bob and Vicarious Vision. What happened to them is an
yeah.
absolute crime. The fact they made some of the best platformers or remade them, and now they have to work on Call of Duty is a joke, an
Oh,
actual joke.
I think
have to work
Vicarious
on it.
Vision got
Have to.
merged into Blizzard actually, I think.
Yes, they
Like,
don't
Yeah,
they
they
don't
did.
exist
yeah,
anymore. They have such a history with Crash, and they're fucking gone.
that's
And
it.
I think even Spider-Man in some degree. Um,
They worked on
so
Spider-Man 2, I think, on the
yeah, it's
PS1.
Yeah,
Vicarious
there's
Vision.
Which was a
it's
great
just
game.
it was
That
it
too.
was.
The
It was.
Spider-Man PS1 games were dope.
Yeah.
I like those ones. But yeah, it's right now. It's just Activision really needs to be gutted, and hopefully, this keeps them, on the track to kind of getting back on their feet and make Activision great again.
Oh Lord.
Because
Oh
You
Lord.
said that.
I just realized what that sounded like. That came in my head, so I was
Sound like
like,
a
that sounds
politician.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's I wasn't trying to, but when I
It
thought
just
of it,
came
I
out
just had
that
to say
way.
it because
It
it sounded
just
funny.
came out
Right.
that way.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it.
Hey, it works.
So it works because Activision needs to become, and that's my last point. Activision needs to become a really respectable studio again, instead of just Call of
Oh
Duty.
yeah,
I don't know what else
Yeah.
the fuck they do,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
So
definitely.
What
yeah,
else do they do? Who
I
knows?
feel that. Well, we got about
shit,
25
we do.
more minutes left that I'm going to allow, I guess, before I shut this down because I do want to get back
Yeah,
to gaming. But
same here.
but let's go on ahead and go through our takes of the week and let's start it off with the guests. So, what we mean by take of the week is just like some wild stuff that you may have heard within the communities that you happen to be involved in KMEGA. So I want you to kick it off and just kind of tell us something wild that you've heard lately.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that I see
It's not
that.
hard, right?
Yeah, no, PlayStation stands always got something wild to say to me. So
Oh God, here we go.
But no, I'm going
Go.
to start off with this one. I've been gentle. I've been gentle. This is my first time here. I don't know about hearing people,
Yeah.
but no. The crazy thing to me, and I heard about it last night, was she's been doing the flip flop thing, the Morales girl, and I don't know if y'all have seen her. She's
Oh,
Marlis?
Marlis or Morales, yeah, whatever. Yeah, she's
Oh.
Marlis.
Oh no.
She was,
Is this a
she,
gaming?
oh yeah, oh
Is this
yeah.
a
She says
gaming
something
take
wild.
or
Or is this what I think it is?
Oh yeah, I think you might know. But anyway, so she's
God.
been promoting PlayStation, and then all of a sudden
Cool
here
girl.
lately she started promoting Xbox, which I thought that was really weird, but it's whatever. And so she started the when Kids Move talked about her feet or whatever, which it is.
Well, that was a while ago, I think. Now
Right.
I think it was like
water.
I think it was like a month ago. I think.
She started, you know what I'm saying? Because she did have some big
Yeah.
feet, but it is what it is. All right. So,
Oh,
I mean, hey,
and so she
yeah,
got
God
a lot.
bless.
She got a lot of.
Yeah.
She got a women can have big feet too. But so she's been, so she's got a big fan base, and so she started a OnlyFans
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. Cool. So she went from showing feet to now showing ass cheek. Okay, cool. So she shows a picture of.
But Matt can't take this.
Yeah,
Matt's gone.
so she shows a picture of her ass, right? And so I'm like, okay, whoa, all right. I didn't know she was packing a little bit like that. She got a little meat on it, but I'm just thinking,
My God.
wait a minute,
What is this conversation, bro?
You said Diva Boss. Here we go. So the final point of this is this, where she got caught lying, and the original girl is this Asian female, and she says, I really do appreciate. She says, "Hey, it's cool that you're a fan, but I didn't know that you was going to impersonate, my body or whatever." And so she showed her original pictures of her body, and then, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, wow!" So regardless, not only she's been fake and trying to do the console war garbage, but she's even fake on showing her actual body except for her feet. So I'm just thinking like,
you gotta point the feet
Except
back
for-
out.
yeah, go back to the feet. So I'm just like, why is it that the internet got to cap like that, man? I don't even know, man. So it's crazy. So big shout out to her. I hope.
Shout out.
But shout out.
Shout out to her.
Be proud of your body. Don't body shame yourself. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Props.
big
God
shout
bless her.
out.
Oh man, that was a
Big shout
fantastic
out.
take for the week.
Oh man.
Like I don't even feel
Fuck
like we
my
need to
life.
dig into that one. Like
No,
No,
we're good.
person
we don't.
to
I'd rather
person.
not, honestly.
Oh my
I'd
God.
rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
So
All
What
right,
a man
so
KMEGA is.
moving on. We're going next. Oh man, yeah, we're going next over to Matt, I almost said Hard Days Matt, but Hard Days Mike.
I was seeing that I wish I could fucking find the tweet, but and this has been going on for a while, but I actually saw it pop up again that people were saying that Horizon Forbidden West is a better RPG than anything Bethesda's ever put out. And I see that tweet.
That's just factually inaccurate. That's just not even. That's not to be taken serious.
And when I see that, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of
You
like,
are fake
how long
news.
have you been playing video games? And like, what do you play?
Since
Because
2021, bud.
Since 2021.
2021.
Since I was a baby.
dude, I saw that take again. I don't know if it was a retweet. I just saw it this morning while I was getting ready to head out, and so it was just, I was like, dude, it's not even, no, like it's not even shit talking like Horizon. It's just not. It's literally objectively not true. Like
Yeah,
objectively.
objectively, it's not even. It's not a thing.
Oh,
That should be
it
said.
was just bad. All
It
right, that was
is.
my take.
The Lord Almighty. This is great. This is great. This is the fun part of the show for me because it's just
Oh,
ridiculousness just pouring out of everybody's mouth. And it's not our ridiculousness. We're talking about just the things we see in the world. Next
Yes, sir.
person, Twan.
All right. I don't know if this is pretty recent. I'm not sure if you guys talked about this last week, but everyone canceling Game Pass all of a sudden.
Oh,
You
we
know, I've
talked
been
Oh,
about
here.
God.
that.
Did you guys talk about that? I wasn't here, so
Yeah, but
I'm
go
not
on
even sure how
ahead.
long ago that was.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just people saying that, they're not getting enough AAA games nowadays. I'm just seeing so many people talking about that, where it's just like, it's like people are just because I guess it's just the whole drought. I'm assuming with Starfield and everything, where they're just not getting
Yeah.
those AAA games that people are expecting. And I guess we had like Sniper Elite recently, right? That's AA. But fuck, you guys already talked about this, so I kind of feel like I'm probably retreading something you guys already talked about. So I don't know if I should just
Yeah, all right.
choose something else.
No, go
But
ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, man.
yeah. Oh, well, like I said, right? So with like I said, with yeah, everyone's just canceling it, right? And I'm just thinking that why like Game Pass has much more offer than just AAA games, obviously, right? Like I feel like with AAA games, like people will usually buy those games anyways most of the time, and I feel like Game Pass especially is great for finding those smaller indie games that you probably wouldn't even end up buying anyways. Like for me, that's Game Pass for me. That's like the number one reason why I usually have it, is because like I just have these games that I probably wouldn't even end up buying anyways for like $30,
Yeah.
$40, but I'm
Oh,
like, oh, okay, it's on
100%.
Game Pass, might as well play it, right? Like, right? So like, I don't
Yeah,
know why
definitely.
AAA games is even that big of a deal, honestly, for these people, So
Well,
that's
for
pretty much my
me, it
whole point,
turns a
really.
game that because it's funny that a lot of people say, Xbox Game Pass is full of fodder, full of fodder, full of fodder. You know what? I'd think that too if I didn't have it. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I would probably think that too if I didn't have it. But seeing that I do have it, and I went into it being like, good luck, surprise me.
Yeah,
And I was surprised several different
yeah,
times. So, like, hearing people say that it's fodder to me indicates either one thing, like either A, you've never tried this service, or
yeah,
Yes.
B, you just don't really have much taste. Like you might
hmm
have taste for high quality, this is Rockstar or 2K or
yeah,
whatever. You like you might have that kind of taste in games only. But I feel like if you're even in the realm of saying whether something's for you or not, you should have a better argument than it's full of fodder. Like what is the fodder that's there? What's the thing that bothers you? Like and then people say it's full of like bad games. Well, if you look at the list of Game Pass games, there are some really high quality ones. There
Yeah.
is some really just decent quality. There's a ton of just really decent games, which to me are the games that people are identifying as fodder. Where it's like, no, it's not fodder. It's just not. It's just not
Game of the
Call of
year.
Duty.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It can be like a Sniper Elite, for instance. Not fodder at
hmm
Yeah.
all.
Not
But
at
it's
all.
but it's also not Starfield either. Everybody knows
Oh, yeah.
that.
hmm
Everybody
Yeah.
knows that. But the thing is like, how many times when you were younger, or before Game Pass, or let's take it all the way even back to like the '90s with like the Genesis and whatnot. When I went to Best Buy, or not Best Buy, when I went to like Blockbuster and I went shopping for games, I wasn't looking for AAA because you know why? Because I already know what those games are.
Yeah.
I already know how. I already know the standard that I put on those games, which is crazy high.
Yeah.
So when I went to a Blockbuster and I was shopping around for a game, I was more or less looking for something that's probably now in Game Pass. And I
Yeah.
only have to pay $15 a month compared to like what, like 5, 10, sometimes 15 or $20 a weekend for 3 days with the game. Like
Exactly.
I just think it's crazy how much people try to downplay what Game Pass is. and it doesn't seem like they have a really good grasp on history.
Yeah, it's mid pass. No, I agree.
100%.
100%.
Like those smaller games are like I said, the reason why I even have Game Pass in the first place, right? Like for example, Starfield's gonna come out on Game Pass, right? But the thing is, like I would have bought that game either way if it wasn't on Game Pass. You know. Meanwhile, with the game on the side, it's like I probably would have never played that game at all if it wasn't on Game Pass because I wouldn't
Bro,
have purchased it in the first place.
I rented Earthworm Jim for $6 for like 5 days. I you know what I'm saying? Bugsy was games that I was renting for my Sega. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just trying to say, like, I got one game for a really short period of time for like $5 compared
That's it.
to spending $15 and having a boatload of games.
They're getting constantly added.
Hundreds of things.
You know,
And
we even
constantly
got like the
updated.
Pac-Man collection, like
Yeah,
recently.
yeah,
too,
and
which is pretty
constantly
nice.
updated. And then I get first-party games on top of that. Like,
That's just a bonus. in my
whenever they're
opinion.
ready. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be on their butt about things because I mean, I've been with Xbox for quite some time, so I'm gonna want to see things happen when they say they're gonna happen. But even if they don't, I'm not gonna sit back and act like, oh man, that's the only reason I got this service. It's not. It's not the
Yeah.
only reason I got this service. A third of the reason I have this service is so I can play the same games as my homies. I want to be able to
Exactly.
hop in 2K, Outriders, you know, Sniper Elite, Halo. You know, I
Yep.
mean, there's all these games, and to say, oh man, these two games, I don't understand why you waited till now to unsubscribe because Starfield wasn't coming out next week. Redfall
Not at
definitely
all.
wasn't coming out next week. So to wait until now to unsubscribe to me is more of a grandstand than anything.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
And it's not necessary. First of all, it's not necessary because we talk like when we talked about this, we all kind of said like whoever announces that they're unsubscribing to something, like why? Like it's not necessary. You don't need to. Like just unsubscribe. I subscribe and unsubscribe to things all the time. I've never announced it. It's not important. Just and also like you said, there's hundreds of other games to play in there. You can pick anything to play. There's plenty to play. It doesn't need to
Yeah, I
doesn't
doubt
need to be
everyone's
just
played everything
Starfield.
on there.
Exactly. Dude, I've had Game Pass since like 2018. I've probably touched maybe 20, if that. That's being generous.
Mhm.
If that percent of the games in Game Pass.
Hmm.
So like you're not gonna run out. There's plenty to play. Just either enjoy it or unsubscribe and keep moving.
Hey, if somebody wants to announce you unsubscribe to something, to me that's fine. But don't get in your feelings when someone says, "Hey, why did you do that?" And then you just say it's trash, and they're just like, "Dude, you sound dumb right now because you're not giving me a reason behind your, you know, your motivation to get rid of the service. If you're out here, you know, if I say I'm mad at PS5, people are gonna ask why. And if I just say it sucks, they're gonna be like, "No, you suck."
Yeah.
Like, straight up, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yes, a shitty reason.
But if I said, "Hey, man, I'm just really used to the Xbox controller and I just like it better," then people will still probably get at you a little while.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, those that are level-headed that you were actually speaking to will be like, "Oh, well, you know, it's just not for you." That makes sense. You don't like the controller. That's a valid reason. Or, "Hey, I play all these same games on my Xbox, so I really don't need that." That's a valid reason.
Yeah.
But just to say something sucks is really divisive, and it's just unnecessary. And I don't know. I mean, I
Just
want to
a
say it's
bias,
disrespectful,
really.
but at the same time, it's a company, so I don't really care too much about their feelings at the end of the day, unless you're like pointing one person out in a company. Then it's kind of
Sure,
like,
yeah.
then it's kind of cringe. But anyways, anybody else got anything to say on that?
Yeah, no, I agree on that. I always say, like, when I've had past members on GRG would say that a game was trash, and I would say, man, come on, man, you could say that the game is not for you, but
It's
what's considered to be, that saying, what's another person's trash is another person's treasure. So therefore, if you certain games is not going to be for games. That's the beauty of gaming. Just like with music, some people are not going to like certain type of music, and other people will. And that's the same thing. Like when everybody tries to force you to like a PlayStation game because it is considered this and that, I'm like, no, I don't have to like. Just like you don't have to like Halo, you don't have to like Gears, you don't have to like Forza, but you might like Killer Instinct. You might like
I
this.
love
You
Killer
might,
Instinct.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, I mean, it's even back in the days, because I'm an older gamer than probably most everybody on this panel. Like when the Nintendo Sega Wars was happening, people would play games and they would talk shit. Yeah, like, oh yeah, no, this game feels better on the Genesis compared to the Nintendo, or this game looks better on the Nintendo than it does Genesis. But what would happen was you go back home to your parents, and you're trying to convince them to buy that opposite console, so you can be good at that console, so you can kick their ass when you go back over to their house. And
Yeah.
now these days, it's kind of like, it's almost in a sense like politics. Like people pick sides like it's teams, and it's never should be that. It does. Game Pass. If Game Pass was so bad, then the competition wouldn't follow suit, and in doing their own version of a service. If games as a service is so bad, then these gaming companies wouldn't start doing these type of things. Obviously, this is a bridge. This is another, just like with you buy a cheaper console. This is a opening for and an opportunity for people who can't buy a whole bunch of games at one time in a year, or only just buy maybe one or two or three games a year. This opens up floodgates for all these other games to get the people to experience. I could just imagine what it would be like if I was a kid growing up in this era and all this and this smorgasbord of just gaming. Like, good God, like it's
Hey,
just,
Mega, especially for black folks, right? Black and brown
oh,
people.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Man.
that. Don't do
Oh
that.
man.
Don't do that. Miss Sanchez, I asked you to come to
That
GRG, but she refused.
Oh
So
man.
I wanted you to explain yourself on that.
that was
Oh,
That was
that was
brave.
that was an
actually
amazing take.
that was gonna be what I brought up.
Oh, really?
Because
Yeah.
yeah, that was actually gonna, because I know we talked about it on your show, but I wanted to hear, like, because we're with Twan and Mike right
Mhm.
now, I wanted to hear what they thought about that.
Yeah.
But that was actually gonna be what I brought up.
I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead. Well, no,
You're
no, no.
good. You're good. You're good.
I was
Kind of
wrapping it up.
spaced
I was
out,
just
so I
saying,
kind
like,
of missed.
yeah, no, I just
I was
was,
spacing out.
yeah. So I just think that it's really crazy for people to just take it to those levels, man. I mean, Game Pass is wonderful for every. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
so we got it. But anyway, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
All right. All right. But yeah,
I'm messy.
Mike and Swan, you guys saw this
Yeah,
tweet
now I know what
from
you're talking about. Yeah.
Kate Sanchez. Really cool lady with
Yeah.
really cool thoughts. Uh, but she
She's so
said,
hip.
where I had the tweet. Okay, I'm gonna read this first. She has a whole thread here, like a pretty long thread. I'm not gonna read the whole thread, but starts, Game Pass is good for people who can't drop money on games because gaming is a class exclusionary hobby that disproportionately keeps brown and black folks out of gaming, and that's always been my only Game Pass take. It's good, actually, as what she says about Game Pass. Now, I think she has a very terribly, tragically worded, excellent point. a, a tragically worded, excellent point
Oh man.
that that
Matt Ham,
game
KMEGA, how's it like?
that that gaming
Oh.
that gaming is in fact class exclusionary, but then, which is fantastic point, but then she says about black and brown people. I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, it's just
It's
There's
the fact
there's
she even says both. The fact she just didn't
yeah.
say it's black and brown. It's
She
Just say
could have
people of
just
color, but I
yeah.
mean, don't forget white people. There's broke ass white people out there
There's
too.
Yeah,
tons
no,
of broke
yeah, I
white
know,
people.
Fiona.
Like, what are
I'm
you
I'm
talking to one
friends
right
with
now.
I'm friends with broke white people.
Yes,
I'm
I
talking to
know.
one right now.
Yeah, I've been talking to white
You know, I'm just
people
thinking, since we're
forever.
the
Like,
minority, there's probably more broke white people out there.
right.
But,
Exactly.
that's just me.
Oh my
Exactly.
god.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I was blown away by this, and I wanted to get your guys' take because me, K Mega, and Ham and Loke, we all talked about this on the show on Friday, but I wanted to hear what you guys thought about it. Did you guys
she was
also
just
think it was
spitting absolute.
fantastic?
I feel like
Yeah,
the
she
whole
was
thing
spitting
just.
absolute heaters. Sorry, you go. I'll say my take. The first one.
I feel like
Oh.
it's straight up self-explanatory, right? It's like, do I even need to really add anything? Why that's bad? You know?
It's bad. It's bad. She made it bad,
Yeah.
and it didn't have to be bad.
Yeah, she could have just cut it off at that point, right? When she was talking about, the
Classic.
class, right? Yeah, right? Class.
Yeah,
That's it. Done. That's it.
It's a
Nothing
perfect
else,
take.
right? Right? But then you
It's a
just had
perfect
to,
yeah.
yeah, then you had to bring race into it. It's like, come on, just stop, right?
Exactly. And,
It's-
and dude, I and the like I saw. I'm not gonna name names or anything.
Yeah.
I saw people liking this tweet who
Yeah, me too.
I was shocked were like was like people in positions at companies that I give a shit about
Yeah.
were
Oh
liking
my
this.
god.
And
Oh,
I'm
man.
just like, okay, all right. I mean, I guess God bless, but I think it's a little bit wrong. But hey, whatever. But I don't know.
You know what?
We can talk about that all
I
day.
I
It's terrible.
honestly, it was a great take, and as me as a white person, I should be paying $40 a month for Game Pass, according to this
You
man.
should.
So
You should. You should.
That's how she meant
$40 a
how she
month.
meant it.
But
Yeah.
that's for base Game Pass too, not even Game Pass
Base-
Ultimate. Ultimate's like
Game Pass
$80.
Ultimate's like
It's like
$60. Yeah,
Gold is like $20.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
that's
Oh
hilarious.
my god. Oh my god. Such a racist thought. So
And that's what bothered me as well. It's like I got where her point was, what she
Yeah.
meant.
100%.
But again, you can't when
Ruined
people try to make when you try to make these points, you can't exclude other demographics or other people of race because there are people that are just like those people that you're trying to represent. And that's what bothers me the most behind it. Is like, look, I get the part about that there should be more inclusion in gaming in the gaming industry, more people of color, but we're seeing a lot more of that. Trust me.
Oh,
I've been gaming ever since 1978 when I was 3 years old. And then you go and you look in the 90s era, the 80s and 90s era, all you seen was supposed to be Japanese guys looking like white people. So I'm like, but it didn't never matter to me. I enjoyed playing and any person that was black, like I mean, like they were either cross-eyed or they were some kind of thug or they talked funny or some crazy shit. So to see the evolution of where gaming was then and to where gaming is now, there's been a lot of growth. There is still a lot more to go, but man, you are not going to get other people on your side when everything has always got to be about just black and brown people. And trust me, I'm one of these people that are completely about wanting to have inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Because, me and Halo, I'm always saying hashtag save Locke. You better bring Locke back, Team Osiris back. You got that you got them Spartans, the team of color. You better bring them back. But
yeah.
I'm also about everybody. In order to make it all work, you have to have everybody in unison wanting to work together on it.
Yes, thank you.
That shit right there, what she just said, it was, man, you said it perfectly, man. Like I can't even duplicate that. That was perfect how you said it. It was a beautiful worst take, whatever the hell you said, but it was wonderful. So
it was a tragically worded good take.
Yes,
tragically worded.
Horrible. So yeah, no, man. I mean, it was a huge fail, and that's why I asked her if she could come on the show so she can explain herself, because usually when people text things, it doesn't get the same type of the message doesn't resonate as well as it would if you just hearing that person explain it to you with their own voice.
Yeah.
And I tried to say, look, I'm not here to attack you, but yeah. And then the last part of this too is for me is that just seeing all those likes. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people that didn't get it. Didn't get it
There's a
either.
lot.
Like,
There's a whole lot.
It was pretty sad.
It was. It was, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not gonna really say a whole lot on this. I just thought it was interesting to be brought up. What I don't like about this kind of stuff is when it's just like when I hear a message and all I think of is like CNN, and I'm like, man, like it just felt so political and it didn't feel at home at all. It felt like you were talking to somebody else. Didn't feel like you were talking to me.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing that I really liked about what KMEGA said. Like it's supposed to bring people together, right? So when you say like, this is hard for black and brown people, I'm like, wait a second. It's not that hard for me, and I know a ton of other brown and black people that it ain't that hard for. And I know a ton of white people it ain't hard for. But like at the same time, I can go back and say, well, I know a few, Caucasian folks at home that have a hard time paying for something like this. Why doesn't this include them? Why does this always? Why is it that when we have something brilliant to say, that we kind of that's the moment that we talk out of our ass. Mm-hmm. Like you have something that people need to hear, and your communication is so rough that only a few people know what you mean, but a lot more people don't like what you said. Mm-hmm. You didn't really grab anybody except to get them angry. That's what I felt like this was. It was just more divisive than it was helpful.
Oh, definitely was.
But let's go on ahead and move on. We're starting to run pretty late. So, KMEGA, we got you for what we call the game Smush, where you take two games and put them together. I want you to take any two games that you've ever played and match it and match them together to make one dope game, and just kind of give us a rundown on what you think it'd be like.
Guys, I'll be back in just a minute. Sorry, something I had to do.
I would have never noticed you left him, Mike.
Wow. I've always had this imagination of this type of a game like this because there was one of my favorite games I've ever played, and I wish that PlayStation would bring it back or somebody. And it was Legend of Legaia.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
Give me a Legend of Legaia with the way that the game played, but also a type of fighting style where it's not just turn-based, but it gets into certain parts in the game where it's like a Tekken. It's technical like Tekken or maybe a virtual fighter, to where it's you still have a full-fledged storied game, but it's still and you can have those RPG elements, but it's more of a beat 'em up, but it's in a style of a Tekken virtual fighter, because those are some kind of those fighters are really technical, and so I think that would just bring a crazy variety, and it would enhance the a little. I mean that genre a lot better. I mean, of course, like games like that would have never been able to be made, but something like that for me would be the ultimate game for me because I love Tekken to death. I love Virtual Fighter, and I love and I love plenty of games, but a game like Legend of Legaia, that combo together would be dope.
Yeah, I remember Legend of Legaia because that game was like kind of like Final Fantasy-ish.
I
Yeah,
never
that's
played that
what.
game. Was it turn based or was it like
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
turn-based.
it was
turn-based.
turn based?
See, that's what it looks like. I was thinking Final Fantasy because I'm watching. I've never heard of it, and I'm watching video
Yeah.
on it right now.
It's
Like,
one
it
of those
looks
games that
very
came in
Final
the big
Fantasy.
fat double case.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it actually have another disc though, because I know a lot of those games they came in a double case.
Yeah,
Was just because the
double disc.
manual was so thick. It wasn't actually because there was a second disc.
Oh no, it had a second disc. It had,
Oh, it had a second disc?
game
Okay.
did. Yeah, the second game definitely.
Yeah, I think that'd be hella interesting to have like the Tekken aspect added to it to be able to fight. And like if it like if a game like that is not turn-based, then you have my eye. But turn-based games just are a turn off to me.
That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
little
Like it
fun.
would. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be. You could have that option, but but for people out there, because a lot of
It's
people
like
are
Lemnis
turned
Gate a
off.
little bit.
Yeah, like a lot of people are a little biased towards turn-based. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you could have it to where it's, where you play it like you would, like, have the combo set like Tekken, maybe have a few elements of the turn-based system. Like, you could just hit a couple of buttons and do some really crazy moves. But still, if you could have a manual mode to where you can set off your own type of combos and then switch to your characters on the fly, and it kind of like what they do with Final Fantasy 15. It's like you just jump around and pick the character that you want, and then you can just set it off like that. I think that would be crazy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually like that because it's like Ham said, on turn based, I can't even like a game that I really into. Like a good example is Wasteland 3. I want to get into it.
Oh
I just
goddamn,
can't.
Wasteland 3 is great. Oh, it's so good.
I just
God,
can't get into turn based, man. It something about it. My brain shuts off when I see it. So if they could do that and have like actual like real time combat, that would definitely interest me. That definitely interests me. Because there's a lot of games that are turn based that if they just had real time combat, that's why I'm hoping this KOTOR remake is real time. I know people want turn based, but if they can do real time, then that has me really interested.
Wait, why would KOTOR be turn-based?
Wasn't KOTOR turn based back in the day?
yeah, it was turn-based.
No, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was about to
see.
say.
I've always asked myself why I never really got into KOTOR.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And there,
that's
there it
That's
is.
why. I guess that's the
There it
that's the
reason.
is.
reason I
Figured it
didn't.
out.
Yep.
That is the reason I didn't.
There it
I
is.
tried, I just couldn't.
Yeah, no, those games were so good to me. But what you could do, the technology is there now. It could definitely be done the way that I'm visioning it. But because even back then, if you look at a game like Jade Empire, you had control. You could do manual attacks like punch button, kick, but then like you would hit. What will be kind of like your RPG element is when you do your super move, then you hit like your left trigger in a X button or a square button, an A button, a Y button, whatever, and then it would do various other type of combos as well. That's what I'm saying. Like if they can blend those together, but yet it has the fighting presence of like a Tekken, and then like if you can do like fighting moves like Tekken or Virtual Fighter, and then for super moves like you see because you said somebody was in here saying that they was watching the gameplay of Legend of Legaia, and then you can hit that special those buttons, and then you could do like a crazy dope combo. I think that would get people like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I think that would be a crazy.
Yeah,
You know what?
definitely.
I take that back. Stankmon said something in the chat just now. He said South Park Stick of Truth might change y'all's mind. And you're right. That game did change my mind. I'll give you that game. I'll give you that one.
That's the one turn based. That's the one turn based game that I played, and I was like, "This is awesome.
Slaps.
This is awesome." That is one of the best games of the 360 generation, in my opinion.
I think that might be the thing too. That might be a thing for turn based for me as well. Is like if I have attachment to something already, like I watched South Park, so the jokes and stuff that were happening within that story of that game, even though it was the style of game that I don't normally play, Like like just the action and stuff in it is just funny. It's fun. It kind of
Hilarious,
reminds
man.
me of what I like about South Park. So yeah, Snake Mob, really good point to bring in there. I probably shouldn't say
Definitely.
I've said this before and I forget all the time. I probably shouldn't say I don't like turn based as much as I just am picky with turn based. I'm very picky with turn based. I actually
Yeah.
still need to play Fractured But Whole.
Same here. I got that. I'm about to download that
I
right
heard,
now.
I heard they changed the battle system
It
a
ain't
lot in
your
that
fault.
game.
Turn base is mostly mid.
Yeah, the battle system in Fractured But Whole is actually a lot more advanced, in depth.
It's like
But
grid style, I think, or something like
yeah,
that.
it looks really cool. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
download it and try it out myself, actually. But yeah, it gives me something to play later.
Paper
Yeah.
Mario games have always been pretty good with turn-based combat as well. I don't know if you ever played those ones.
I
Like
have
especially
not
like
played
the
Paper
Thousand
Mario.
Years Door, because like they even have button inputs as you're doing the turn-based, so it's like you have something to do, right? Even though
Yeah.
it's turn-based, so those games have done it really well as well. Like I know a lot of people that that hate turn-based combat, but they love the Paper Mario games. They just do it very well.
All right. Well, that was fantastic, hey Megan. Thanks for that idea right there. Those two games put together. But now we're at our last topic of the night, which is always the most overrated or underrated game you pick, or pick both. Doesn't matter to me. But the first person I'm gonna throw this to has got to be the guest as usual.
Golly.
Or do you need a second to think on that, brother?
I need a second to think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's push it over to Hard Day's Mike. I want to hear what he has to say. Or is he
Just
back yet?
bought it because I did. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you hear
good.
me? Oh,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Loud and
awesome.
clear.
Good.
I actually just bought it because I didn't realize it was backwards compatible, and it's a genuinely great game. Call of Juarez, your Gunslinger, Juarez Gunslinger. I'm
Okay,
so
yeah, those
fucking
games.
tired,
That
dude.
Call of
Juarez.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I've been up since like fucking
Yeah.
like 2. I'm so tired.
Huh.
It's been a long week, dude. Weekend. So Gunslinger is a fantastic game. It's an arcadey first person shooter, Western shooter, and it's just so fun. And it's funny. The story is fun. It's just a really good game. I really recommend it. It's on sale right now for like $3. I'm pretty sure I just bought it for. And I bought it on so many platforms. I own it on my Switch if I'm not mistaken. I own it
Yeah,
on
it's
my
on Switch. I was about to
PC.
say, yeah.
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 Whereas I don't know why it was so hard for me to freaking say that.
I would butcher that name too.
Dude,
Pronounced Juarez.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What
Says
is
pronounced
it?
Juarez.
I don't even know how to do it,
Romance.
honestly.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a very fun game and I highly recommend it. You check it out on whatever platform it's on.
Yeah, I've actually looked into that game a few times and I've thought about pulling the trigger on it, but I just never got around to playing it. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Like you said, it's
Was
nice and
that
arcadey.
that was a 360 game, right?
It was on 360,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I've heard of this game. I might have to try that out.
Fantastic. How about you, Twan?
All right, I think I teased this a little bit, but I remember I told you guys how like in the PS1 era and the PS2 era, Sony pretty much just threw everything at the table when it came to genres, right? Like they were just platformers, RPGs. Like not today where it's always behind the soldier kind of thing. Like the
Oh
big games
yeah.
kind of blend in. Anyways, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
back in the PS1 era, they actually tackled a Zelda game essentially called Alundra, and I feel like this game just nobody really talks about this game at all. It's almost like Zelda mixed in with Psychonauts because you're going to people's minds, and it's just like the game nowadays. It's aged beautifully. The sprite work is amazing. The story is interesting, and it's the music. Oh my gosh, the freaking music, man! Holy shit! But
Really good.
yeah, it's just like I've been playing this and I'm hooked. It clicked instantly. The game's just filled with puzzles. Every room you go into, there's a puzzle you got to figure out, and it's very nice puzzles. And yeah, it's just something that nobody's really played. It's a PS1 game, and yeah, it's just back then when Sony used to really just throw everything at the table. They tried to see what stuck, and fortunately, it didn't obviously stick. But it's just a fantastic game, and nobody really talks about it. Like I feel like anyone that plays Zelda needs to play this game because like I feel like it's almost on par with those games, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I can play that because I have a PS3.
Yeah. I think it's even in the PSN store. Like you could download that as a PSN classic. I think you probably
Oh,
get for like
nice.
$5.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's aged well. Like I said, the graphics is all sprite work, and it still looks beautiful today.
Twan,
That's a
Ziggy Zoggy in the chat asked what the name of the game is again.
it's Alundra. Alundra, Alund. Or I could show. I have the game, but it's all the way over there. I have to grab it. But
Oh yeah, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken, Ziggy played. They played Psychonauts 2, and they really liked it. And I gotta still play Psychonauts 2. Sorry, they
Same
mentioned
here,
oh my
Psychonauts.
dude.
I
god,
just
you
want
haven't
to
played
say
Psychonauts 2 yet? That game's a masterpiece.
I started
I
it and I
gotta-
really enjoyed it, but I never finished it.
The game
Man,
is
I was
fantastic.
I
hooked.
mean, phony.
That game clicked instantly the moment I played. I was like, this is amazing. I couldn't stop.
Yep,
Just
I
so
played
good.
it until I beat it.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
Excuse me.
Let's see. I guess I'll go next.
Yeah.
The game to me that is forever underrated is gonna have to be Stuntman.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Back.
going back.
Oh, let's go. Let's go, dude.
I recently played Stuntman Ignition, and that game was just fantastic. I would really
Yeah.
like to see Stuntman in like Unreal Engine 5.
Dude, that'd be insane.
That's
be
what I'm
insane.
saying.
That would be insane.
That'd be fantastic. Oh my god, I'd love that, man.
With
Somebody
all
make
the
it happen.
explosions, because all you're doing in that game is acting out a piece of a movie scene. So I feel like that game would be like almost like an Unreal demo kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Like
It'd be perfect.
like I understand the Matrix thing or whatnot, but man, if they would have just gave us a few scenes and like gave us like a demo and said here's some Unreal Engine 5 Stuntman, like Ignition 2 or something like that, and they're just buildings exploding and you got to drive through it like Fast and the Furious 8 style or something. I don't
Even
know.
like destructible environments, and everything.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like
to me, that would be like a day one purchase game right there. Just for the fact of explosions. I love explosions.
we just need more wacky car games, honestly. But,
Yeah.
we just don't get enough of those nowadays.
Dude, wacky
Yeah,
car
definitely.
games were the thing to play on the PlayStation 2 and
Oh yeah,
original
Burnout,
Xbox. Oh yeah.
like even just
Uh,
arcade racers in general just don't happen anymore, other than like Forza Horizon and stuff. It's just stuff like that. But that's about it. Really.
There's a yeah, that's kind of true.
I mean,
There's
another
a
good one we
few,
got
but
was
it's
Hot
not.
Wheels is pretty good. Hot Wheels is a pretty good one.
I've never tried that yet. I need
Hot Wheels,
to.
what was it called? Hot Wheels. I have it right here. Unleashed.
The most
That's
recent
the
one.
Unleashed. That one was really
Yeah.
good.
I have
Yeah,
to
but
try
that's
that.
mine.
Okay. I think it's my turn now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so mine, I think I did this before. Mine's not technically underrated, but I feel like it is because the game that came after it is still in its life cycle and it's way past its prime. And that is GTA 4. I feel like GTA 4 should have got the treatment that GTA 5 is getting.
I was gonna say, I
feel
hope
like-
you don't say definitive edition.
Oh,
Nobody
no,
deserves.
God, no.
Nobody
Please,
deserves
no.
that treatment.
Please no. Just if you're not gonna remaster that properly, leave it alone. Just
Yeah.
that should have been the game that lasted 10 years. Should have been
Hey,
GTA 4.
Hey, you're not lying because I know I give you a hard time about that because that's just the friend that I am. I like to give people hard times about stuff, but that's the highest scoring game of all of the GTA's.
Dude,
It
it's
may
like the
not be
third
everybody's-
highest. It's like
What
the
is it?
third
It's like
highest
a
rated game of
98?
all time. Yeah, it's like the
98?
third highest rated game of all time. It's like Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I forget what comes after that, and then it's GTA 4.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
It's
I
a
know
ridiculously good game.
because I know GTA 5 is sitting at a 97, so it had to at least be like a
Yeah.
98.
It even beat out
minimum.
GTA 5, which I
Yeah.
don't think GTA 5 is great, but I don't think it's a
GTA
97.
5 isn't even to me. GTA 5 might be in the top 3. Might be, but I
What,
think Vice City
GTA games?
of GTA games, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think San Andreas and Vice City are easily better to me, story wise, than
Yeah.
GTA 5. GTA 5 story I felt like was just a little all over the place. I don't know. Franklin just wasn't that guy to me. The only person that was like somehow like respectable in the sense of Grand Theft Auto was Trevor.
It's Trevor. It did
Um,
even Mike was just constantly getting shit on by his
Mike
kids.
was the worst of all of them. Franklin was rough around the edges for
Uh-huh.
me, but he kept it real. Where Michael
Yeah.
was just a pushover, man, with his
It's
own
just a punching
family.
bag.
Yeah, like it was hard for me to respect his character because all he did was get disrespected throughout the game.
All the time. All the time, dude. That character, that poor dude. He was just a punching bag.
I mean, his kids are awful. His wife
Terrible
is
kids.
cheating on him. He makes horrible decisions that you
Yeah.
can't control. His
Yep.
shrink is awful. Like, there's just nothing good about Michael for me in that game. That whole game could have been without Michael, and I think I would have been fine.
That's funny.
I think
Oh
the whole
my God.
multiple character thing made me just not really like that game so much. I just
Yeah.
wanted to focus on I just rather play as Trevor, personally.
Dude, yeah, if they
Yeah.
focused on Trevor, I would have been happy with that. And you I mean, I want to keep going, but like you hear about like the rumors for GTA 6. Like every time you hear a rumor for GTA 6, like, oh, now it's 5 playable characters. I'm like, please don't
Tone it
do
down a
that.
little bit.
Just make it 1 and keep it 1, because that's the last, dude. That's perfect for GTA. Just 1 character is all you need.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we hit KMEGA, which is the last one to go. Hopefully, you got
I've been
your
figure it out.
business in order.
I've been thinking, and I mean, there was just so many games on both ends. So I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit and give 2 games for each.
You're the
so-
guest. Do what you
man.
want to
Yeah,
do.
go-
man. It's
go
up
for
to
it,
you.
man.
But this is what's crazy is because 2 of these games is from the same franchise, and it
Ooh,
just
this is
trips me
interesting.
out. And so probably one of my worst, because I was so hyped for this game when it was first announced, and it was on the PlayStation 3, and that was Metal Gear Solid: Guns of Patriot. That was the most overrated, bloated game ever to me. And then right after that was the next one was 5. And I both Metal Gear 4 and Metal Gear 5, both so overrated. And they were cool. 5 was better. Before was just awful to me. My experience was just awful with that game. So when they had those the cow the mooing the big mech things that was mooing like cows, I'm like, that is the creepiest, wildest shit ever. No, it just, the story just went completely after being so excited for Sons of Liberty and then like 3 and then Snake Eater, which was a prequel. Like, I'm like, okay, let's go. And then it just went so left for me. So those games were too overrated. 2 games that were underrated are more recent games. I mean, like I said, there's tons. I could just go back. But one is The Order 1886. I think that game is damn good and should
Yes, sir.
get
Yes,
a
sir.
That game was so fun. Yeah, control-wise, on some of the sequences when you're fighting the werewolves and stuff, could get on your nerves, especially because I was playing on the hardest difficulty. But the game overall, the story, and just everything about that game was just to me epic. I loved it. I thought the game was
Dude,
dope.
it was so good.
Yeah,
There,
yeah,
it just
yeah,
needed more gameplay, but yeah,
yeah,
it was so good
yeah. It was really,
because it
really
was
good.
good.
It
It
was
was like
good.
a Gears of War, but like this weird alternative 1880. It was fucking
Yeah.
good. It was
Yeah,
good. It
yes,
was good.
that steampunk vibe. I dug it. I dug it
Yep.
so much. I really did dig it.
No, I'm so glad someone else feels that way, dude. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good. I
yeah.
loved it.
'Cause that's in that same kind of wavelength about with Quantum Break. Like I thought that those two
Yep.
games were definitely should have sequels. But the other game for me is in this recent. It got tore apart. Is Shadow of War. That is one of the best games I played last year.
Wait, Middle Earth Shadow of War?
Yeah, Shadow
That
of
game's
War.
awesome.
That game got destroyed because of the microtransaction. It
Oh
got
yeah.
ratings,
Yeah.
everything, and people just and then I bought it day one because Shadow of Mordor. I'm like, what? No, there's no way this game is that bad. But they destroyed it. The writer, the critics, gamers, people who obviously who probably didn't play it. And I'm like, damn. So it stopped me from playing it, and I didn't play it until about maybe 3 years ago. And I was like, yeah, it was like three and a half, 2.5 to 3 years ago. And I was like, why did I not play this and experience this and tell people beforehand, like, don't trip about the microtransactions. People, this game
Say
is
though,
so amazing. So
when you did play it, they reverted like a majority of their microtransaction stuff, and everything was in the game. A majority of it was. So you
yeah,
did play the better product. But like,
right.
yeah, the gameplay's fantastic. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, the story.
Yeah.
The story itself, and then just how it, who you understood what that ranger was and what he becomes and what he gave up, and then just how, and I had like his I guess a special ending, and what he went through, and then like just the way that game ended, where he was finally free. And he dropped, and he was just taking off all his armor and shit, and that music kick in. It gave me chills. I had to tell my wife like, yo, this game was incredible. She is not a gamer. She was like, what? And I just, this game is absolutely incredible. This is a wonderful, wonderful game, and it made me even more. Just like, come on, Microsoft. If WB wants to, if they want to get bought, get them, please, because you need Monolith. Monolith can make some bomb ass games. So that's those are my two. Well, four altogether.
Yeah.
That was
Interesting.
fantastic.
Very interesting.
Did everybody get their chance to go? I believe so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think everyone went. Yeah.
All right, sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and close this out. We're gonna do our usual thing. So the first person I'm gonna have, do their little closeout is gonna be KMEGA, our guest today. But before you do that, I just want to say thank you from me and the rest of the panel. We really appreciate your time
Absolutely.
coming out here. You showed up a little bit, right
I showed up
at
on
He showed up. He showed up on time.
and,
He
you
showed
know,
up
and-
really on time.
He showed up exactly on time.
I showed up the exact
I think
same
he
time.
was nervous to come in and face. I think he was nervous to come in here and face
man.
me after that L that he took last just a few days
This
ago.
boy
So.
said, looked it up on the internet to get one more answer right than I did. That's fine.
Whatever. But anyways, brother, I really do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you coming on and being on here for about 2.5 hours. Definitely much appreciated. I'm going ahead and let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Really do appreciate it. Hit me up again if you. I'm definitely going to be hitting up everybody on the panel. Y'all guys definitely come on GRG if y'all have the time on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I'm saying? This.
I'll be working.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's usually people are out or but yeah. Just the opportunity is great. But anyway, come and check out the GRG podcast every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Also, right after I'm done with this, I'm finna go ahead and give me some water, kiss my wife goodnight, and then I'm gonna start on Twitch, Fight Night Sundays, where I play fighters for the rest of the damn night.
Nice.
And anybody who is welcome, just come on in, join me, or you'll catch me playing some randoms. Usually Yobi, Dragonheart Yobi come in. Sensei Jubei Sensei said he was going to come in and join us or whatever, and hey, it's all good. So we play all different types of fighters, man. If it's a fighter, doesn't matter what platform, Xbox, PlayStation, even Switch, you know, I'm going to be playing them, man. I love playing fighters, and that's what I do. So I will be doing that on Twitch. The name KMEGA405. Hope you guys come and check that out. And then I do a podcast on Thursdays on with my boy Xbox 448. I've been doing it ever since we day one, and that podcast has lasted for damn near 8 years now. So yeah, go and check that out on the Xbox 448 channel, and it starts 7 p.m. Central. So man, yeah, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. It was an honor, man. Really do appreciate you guys having me on.
Man, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
At Matt Likes Games on Twitter. You can check me out over there. Like I said, I am working on a video that will be up on YouTube. Matt Likes Games on YouTube. That'll be out probably Tuesday afternoon, maybe Tuesday evening. But that'll be like a Series S year with the Series S review, and I'll have that out. And also, here on this channel, check me out every Sunday here on this channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do me and Ham do streams Mondays and Wednesdays, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern we start. But yeah, check it out.
Definitely. Twan, go ahead.
All right. Other than finding me here every Sunday on this show, I'm on Twitter at It's Me Twan. I also got my YouTube linked in the Twitter account, and I am working on a video. So I don't have anything really yet. I have some stuff I kind of shared from PlayStation, but eventually I do plan on making content eventually. So if you want to subscribe in advance, I'd appreciate it.
Nice. I'm gonna have to subscribe to that. I think I already did.
Probably did. Yeah.
All right, and then Hard Days, let them know.
You can find me on Twitter at Hard Days Mike.
That was sounding sweet
And
at first. That was sounding so sweet.
I'm
You
so
can find me
tired.
on Twitter, brother.
No, man, same here, man.
Hard
Same
Days,
here.
Mike.
This wedding
Long
weekend,
day,
dude.
long
You can
day.
find-
Plus, it's hot in here. I'm like sweating right now.
Dude. Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Hard Days Mike. I stream sometimes on Twitch, Hard Days Mike. I need to do more of that. I'm just lazy and tired all the time. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Fantastic. And then I'll go on ahead and take us out of here. But you can find me, HamSolo05 Gaming, on Twitter. Also, TSWS Gaming on YouTube. That channel, I do 2 podcasts during the week called Behind Them Sticks. This week I have Mav from Fun Speculation on Tuesday. And then on Thursday I have the Game Mistress on, gaming female, really dope, really dope person, really kind, big time into Twitch though. She's affiliated on there, and she also does a lot of like she does a lot of donations to like animal charities and stuff like that. So definitely check her out as well on Thursday, and then on Friday you can obviously see me on TSWS Gaming doing bullsitting with Cozy Beluga and Loke. And oh my goodness, that canned bread that Cozy ate this last Friday was something else. KMEGA, did you happen to step in and check that out?
No, I was prepping for the show. I missed that, but man, y'all better tell that girl to stop doing that, man. She ain't gonna be here too much longer, man.
She's wild, dude.
She's risking her life, bro. Yo, she's risking it all, man. I impress her hard, man.
Bro,
Seriously, God
the
bless her.
bread still had the ribs in it from the can. Like, and it was like
My
wobbly,
God. Is
like
she okay?
like Jello. Oh, she's
Doesn't sound
and she
healthy.
was
I mean,
she was
no
taking
one
bites out of
knows.
it like an apple. She was taking bites out of it like an apple. It was looking nasty. But anyways, y'all can see that craziness on Friday on that TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. It stands for They Said We Said, in case you didn't know. But anyways, you can also find me here with the boys every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, doing the Game Drain. We appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when we go live every Sunday. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thank you all.
Take care, everyone.
Peace.